Tell them run it up.
What is going on? What is going on? Everybody in the house, what is going on? Wake up in Cleveland every single morning.
I wake up, flex, thumb down, now check. No drip, this wet. Tell them run it up. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell them run it up. I wake up, flex, thumb down, now check. No drip, this wet. Tell them run it up. I wake up, flex, thumb down, now check. No drip, this wet. Tell them run it up.
What is going on? What is going on? Wake up in Cleveland, afternoon edition. Hope everybody's doing having a good day today. I am. To be honest with you, I wasn't actually sure that this show was actually going to happen today. Got to make sure that my settings here are working properly. Okay, good. Okay, so to be honest, I wasn't really sure that this show was actually going to happen. I've been dealing with some spectrum issues, some full spectrum issues. You know, Spectrum is probably the wrong name for a company that you have trouble getting through to. Things aren't as clear as they want them to seem. That's what Spectrum feels like. So I'll tell you my story after I put this on autoplay. So I'll tell you my little story. By the way, hope everybody's doing fantastic this afternoon. It's Wednesday. It is a wonderful, beautiful, beautiful day in Southern California. It's like 78 degrees. After I get off the show, I think I'm going to go on another bike ride. Haven't been able to for the past couple of days because, well, it's been like a hurricane out here. That's what we deal with. Valley of the Winds. I live in a little town called Simi Valley. For some of you, you may know it because, well, it was known for one of the biggest court cases in the world, and that was the Rodney King trial. That's basically when everybody decided that Simi Valley was full of racists. That was that thing. Now, are there racists in Simi Valley? Yes. Do we have like a overabundance of racism? I'm gonna say no, but it depends on what day you ask that question. So that's where we're sitting right now in beautiful, beautiful Southern California. Yeah, I'm going to get on my bike. I'm going to ride maybe 10, 15 miles today. A quick little jaunt around town. Let's take a look and see who is in the house right now. I got a lot of windows up, so let's get this thing sorted so I can see everybody. All of your wonderful little faces. And where did my browser just go? I just lost a browser. Okay. Anyway, let's bring another one back up here. So, I got too many windows up. There we go. Okay, so let's do a little bit of a room check. Let's see who is operating in the house today. Obviously, the reason few minutes, but until we do that, let me just do a little bit of a room check, and let me. Got a whole bunch of stuff happening here. By the way, just in case you're always wondering, yes, I am still testing. I'm testing a brand new USB hub, which will lead into my story in just a minute. But I just want to bring up the Twitch feed here because you can't see you can't see any subs, or like, for instance, DJ Diamond Lee just subscribed for 6 months at tier 1. Thank you so much, fam. I appreciate that. So you can't see any of that stuff on StreamYards. You can see the follows, but you can't see if somebody gave bits. RJ and I always get that wrong. R. Jansen, thank you for the subscription again. Appreciate you, pal. And who else is on here? Who else is? So you can't see that stuff. You said there's static in my mic. That is interesting because I'm not hearing any static whatsoever. So, is it consistent or is it off and on? Let me know. There's static really bad. Okay, no more. Don't say anything else. Let me check it out. Hold on. Like I said, don't say anything else. Hold on. That is static. Okay, let's try that again. Let's try that again. Are we in a hype train, by the way? Are we in a hype train in the middle of my technical difficulties? Thank you so much for that. Obviously, I need the hype train to get through all these technical difficulties because, well, you know, life gets in the way, which actually leads me to my story. And thank you guys for hanging with us. Thank you guys for letting me know about the static. The static is another hub that's a piece of shit and is going back, basically. So, oh Lord. Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah. So here's my little story. And by the way, Shortkut in the house. We're gonna bring you on at like 12:30. So another 8 minutes or so. I see him in the green room hanging out. So here's my little story. So maybe a week ago, I've been doing occasional pop-up streams to kind of test out the system. Like, for instance, I'm still using this Rain 72 and 12 setup. So I've been doing this, you know, periodically. Obviously, I use it on my stream. But for whatever reason, every time I've been doing a pop-up, I've had like the worst signal quality. I'm stuttering. People are like, what the hell's going on? What's going on? I don't understand. So I get off, I get on, I stream through Blackmagic, I stream through StreamYard, I stream through all these things, and service just sucks. Do a speed test. First time, last week, I was getting like upload 2 megabits per second. Just just total BS. So let it go. I'm like, it's just a glitch. My daughter was home. It was over spring break. Not spring break, over Thanksgiving. So she was home. She's streaming, doing all her streaming stuff because as young adults do. And I just kind of put it on that. Like, maybe we just have one too many people in the house for this, even though it's the same service we've always had. Then fast forward to Monday. And I had DJ James Holland on the show. And that was great. Had James Holland on the show. And right at the end, I saw a comment saying, hey, you know, Cleveland Terry's stream is looking kind of crumbly right now. Let it go. Whatever. Didn't even think about it. And they had just updated the Rain 72 firmware to be able to use the scratch bank. Great. I'm like, I'm gonna do a pop-up. Go to do a pop-up, and within 5 minutes, signal quality just BS, just done. So I run a speed test, and no lie, this is legitimately true. 0.41 upload. 0.41. I couldn't even get 1 point. I couldn't get 1 megabit. Not even half. So pulled off again. I was like, okay, I guess I'm done. And then, so obviously there's something going on. Do a speed test throughout the house, throughout the day. I make everybody get off the internet. Like, we need to make sure that everything's fine. Nothing. We had a power outage on the other side of Simi. So I figured, well, maybe it has something to do with that. But then the power comes back on and no fixes. So what I do is, I was already looking at possibly upgrading to a fast internet. So right now, in case anybody's wondering, I am on a 20 megabits up, like 500 down, which is just silly. Okay. But that's what they give you. I started off with the 10 and 200. So 10 up, 200 down. That didn't work for me, in all honesty. Because the moment everybody's on, next thing you know, now I'm getting like 8 megs a second, 7. And then it started messing with like my OBS. That was before I moved to the ATEM. So I was already looking into that. And the update speed, which is the top one, which is their gigabit internet, is 1,000 down. And strangely enough, 1,000 down, 35 up. Now, keep in mind, first one, 10 and 200. Then 20 and 400 to 500, then 35. They can't even give me 40. They can't even like round it. So 35. So for a moment I was ready. I'm like, okay, fine. You know, how much does it cost? Blah, blah, blah. And she's like, it's this much, which I expected, but it is a $200 install. I said, what do you mean? What do you have to do? Oh, we have to send a special technician for that one. Like, you know, that's a crock. You know, they're just going to send somebody with a brand new box. He's going to plug it in. He's going to speed test, make sure we're good. And then he's going to be done. I'm like, you know what? I really don't want to pay $200 for this right now. I'm sorry. I think that's a crap of shit. See, that's how bad it was. Not crock of shit, crap of shit. That's how bad I felt about this. So I said, you know what? Never mind. We're not even going to do it. Let me think about it. Oh, and to top it off, talk about having like impulse buying. So I said, okay, well, fine, whatever. Let's get it done. Schedule me. Okay, well, our next available person is like 2 weeks away. And I was like, 2 weeks away? No, I'd like to have it now. You know, she's like, no, that's our earliest person. So I said, you know, it's really funny though. If I were a brand new customer, brand new, and said, hey, I want you to put service in my house, they would be there the next day. But not when you're already a customer. No, nope. That's way too easy. So I just said, you know what? Let me think about it. Now that I have all this time on my hands, let me just think about it because, you know, you lost my impulse buy. So then fast forward to Tuesday. And again, the internet is just garbage. So, and then see, the problem is for a lot of people, look, we all work from home, but I do like YouTube and internet stuff. So everything that I do requires a healthy upload speed. So that means that if I need to post a video, I can't post a video because my videos are, you know, 1.5 to 2 gigs per video. So that would take 15 days. So I'm like, I can't do any of that stuff. So, but throughout the day, my download speed was good. And then all of a sudden my download speed took a hit. And then it was like, you know, 30 down. Keep in mind, this house gets on average, and it fluctuates because we're on a mesh system, but 450 down every time. So I call him again. And this is where it gets fun. So I call him again and I'm like, look, are you sure there's nothing going on? There's a little message on there when you call and says, you know, oh, you're experiencing intermittent outages in your area. It'll be fixed, blah, blah, blah. I get a hold of the tech guy. And I'm like, I just need to make sure that it's not my box, but it's you guys. He says, nope, don't listen to that. That's wrong. We're fine. I'm not seeing anything in your area. Okay, great. Starts running the test. And first time he says, oh, I can't help you because there are people still on the stream. And I said, okay, well, I ran a speed test and I got like 30 down and 1 up. He says, yeah, but I need to know what the reality is. I said, the reality is I normally get 20 up and 400 down. But you're telling me you can't, this doesn't show you that there's anything wrong. I can't do anything, so you have to call me back. Whatever. So my kids were on a Zoom dance thing. So I got them off and I said, nobody get on. I turned off everything. Because, you know, look, everything's connected to the internet now. All the Apple TVs and the Rokus and the TVs themselves and like everything, the iPads, everything's connected. So it's not just as easy as saying, all right, everybody get off the net. Like you got to turn off everything. So I called them back and we went directly into the port. Okay. And I said, again, is there anything wrong with the area? Maybe the area is just down. Nope. Nothing wrong. We go through all this stuff. She was like, yeah, I'm seeing perfect data going to your house, which means that we have to send a technician to get it fixed. I said, okay, fine. When can they come? Next Wednesday. Nope, it's not going to work. What do you mean? I run a business from my house. I can't be out of business for an entire week because you don't want to send somebody down. Well, we can escalate it and we can get it. We can see what we can do. They'll call you back at 9 o'clock, 9:30. So they then call me back And the guy says, yeah, I understand that you want to escalate it, but the escalation service is not here right now, so they'll have to call you tomorrow. But I said, look, this is ridiculous. I need to have this service. So I said, they think that it's my box. There's a Spectrum down the road from me. Can't I just take my box in and swap it out? Yeah, you can. That's not a problem. Just remember that they're probably closed right now. It was like, I don't know, 7 o'clock. So hang up the phone and pick up the internet, the crappy internet, and look, sure enough, they're open until 8. So I drive over there. They swap it out like that. Get back home. Oh, and while I'm there, I'm like, so do I need to call to get it set up? Nope. It knows exactly who you are. You just plug it in. It works fine. Go to plug it in. It doesn't work fine. So I spend more time trying to log in. Nothing. So then I call them again. And then the message says, because it was an automated message before the tech support, the automated message says, so your internet service is still down. Expected recovery time, 10 o'clock. The lady comes on and I'm like, well, I can't get on. It's saying that, the lady said that it was going to be easy to just pop it in. She goes, no, you have to call us back or you have to go online and then turn it on from there. You can't just plug it in. Okay. And she says, yeah. I said, I'm sorry. The message said that the internet was having issues. She says, oh yeah. We've been having issues all day and yesterday. So we'll get it up hopefully by 10 o'clock. I said, I don't understand. I was on the phone with 3 different people from Spectrum. Every one of them told me that is incorrect. No, I don't know why they told you that, sir. This is right. This is where we're having problems. So she gets me back up. And yeah, the speeds are still crappy, but I'm up. And within an hour, my internet shoots through the roof again. So I'm back to normal speeds. I have a brand new internet box when there was nothing wrong with my first box. And now I'm here. So the reason that you heard static in the beginning was because I had a brand new, when they do your speed test, you got to plug in directly. I'm on a Mac. So I had an Ethernet to USB adapter, but it was an old one. So it only gives you 10 down and like 100 up, or 10 up, 100 down. So there's no way they can actually monitor if there's a speed issue. So I just bought another hub because when you're running all this stuff, you need lots and lots of hubs. So that's what I had there. And I thought that it was having issues before, but now it's static. I know. So now I get to send it back again. I've now tried 3 different hubs and they've all been crappy. There's only one that's been good, and I gave it to my son, and now I'm literally going to go back and take it from him. No, I'm going to buy that same one. But yeah, so we're good now, which is important. And that's my long ass story. So let's do a little bit of a room check. Hopefully people are still on from the ones that had the static in the beginning. Monstar on the YouTube side, Spinning on the YouTube side. DJ, I think that says LZ805. It looks like Jorge Blanco or George. Mighty Rel in the house. DJ Spider, I don't know if he's still here. It's been a while. I like to talk a lot. But DJ Spider in the house, what is going on? Pro FVX, that's my man. That is my man. Drew Bach, how's it going, fam? Good to see you. Thanks for the bits. DJ Code, Ruben Torres. DJ List, and someone said it sounded clean. Interesting. That's the way it works here. Okay. Milky 513, F105, Darwin, Diego, Dundee, DJ Flaves, Owlboy, DJ Squall, Boom Bap Kids, Silent John. What is going on, fam? Good to see you. April, you fools. Joe Art, Reggie Ward in the house. Just Grin Pro DJ. What's going on? Yes, that is the ironically, that's what you have to do. Yeah, that's called bitter irony right there. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, I know that, and you know that, But when they tell you no, just plug it in, I'm not thinking about that. I'm just trying to get my internet back. You know, I got a show to run. All right. Who else we got here? DJ Best. I can never get that right. Best Mary's Count MD. I think that's what it's. I always get it wrong. That's why I call him Mary, and I know it's a dude. So sorry, but you're married to me. You'll always be married to me. Who else we got in here? DJ List, Stefano Nuso. No clues what you guys are talking about. Yeah, it's internet. DJ Code, and I know overseas, like the internet is not like it is here. People just have quality internet everywhere else but in the United States because we are all for profit. That's the joy of living in the United States. Everything is for profit. But now I'm on a I'm on Wi-Fi because I had to pull the hub. So you know, it is what it is. Stephen Reddy in the house, Cassius Clay in the house, T Diesel moderator extraordinary in the house, Dirty Jokes fan, big up. Thank you so much from Frankfurt, Germany. Appreciate you. Queso in the house, Melody in the house. What's going on, fam? That's another one of the Beatjunkies, man. Hey, I don't know if people saw Melody's stream. He was on a stream this weekend, and he was rocking freestyle for over 4,000 people. And it wasn't just like, oh, you know how sometimes you make it on the front page and then not. I'm talking like, I know what this is. But you know when some people make it to the front page and their numbers just shoot up real quick. And then the front page people see them, they're up, and then the numbers just drop dramatically. That didn't happen. He was pulling those people and keeping them in there for like, I was on the stream for, I don't know, probably an hour and a half, and they were consistent. I mean, they didn't drop off for like 2 hours or so. So, hey, congratulations to you, man. That was super, super dope. All right, Boom Bap Kids in the house. What's going on, man? Good to see you. Good to see you, fam. Boom Bap Kids, I believe, will be on next Wednesday. Next Wednesday, same time, hopefully with a better internet connection. But they will be on, so it should be a super, super good time with the Boom Bap Kids. Make sure you hang out for that. Okay. DJ D, switch in the house. All right, I think I got it good. I think I got it. Fine. I think I've hit all the people. And, okay, so, you know, I don't think this show would actually exist if there wasn't some sort of a fuck up in the beginning. You know, I don't use a lot of profanity on the show because, you know, YouTube likes to, I honestly feel like when you monetize for YouTube, it sends a like yellow caution flag to you. And it gives you limited YouTube ads until it can like monitor the entire thing over and over again. So I think that there's always like one dude behind me. Like if the algorithm was a person, it would be standing right behind me, waiting for me to say something bad and then just chop off my monetization. But YouTube is just one little piece for this show. This show is really for Twitch. I do YouTube just because, but Twitch is where it's at. So for the people that are on YouTube, I need you to move over to Twitch so we can get real with this shit. You know what I'm saying? Because in just a few days, maybe a month or so, this show will not be broadcast in real time on YouTube. It'll only be a Twitch channel because I have faith in myself and faith in becoming partner. So that's just a matter of time. So just get used to coming over to Twitch. Make it simple. Let's just do that. All right. Yes, that kind of freestyle. All right. DJ Damage is in the house. What is going on, fam? Thanks for the bits. Appreciate you. All right. So, yeah, T Diesel, I do check the 18 plus box. Doesn't matter. They don't care. All right. So let's bring on the man of the hour, obviously, because, everybody knows him out there. So this is by no means any type of real introduction. We're going to move to our commercial, but before we do, we're bringing on the man of the hour, and that is DJ Shortkut. He is one part of the Beatjunkies crew and so many other crews. The man is multifaceted. You know, he's got like 40 crews that he's with. But Beatjunkies is a very well-known and established thing. So we're going to talk about that. First, we're going to go to a commercial just to make sure he's on. The commercial will probably be a shorter one. So don't feel weird if it just literally like cuts out on you. But let's move to this commercial and we'll see you in just a minute. Okay, look, I know you think this is a little weird that we're sitting here talking and I just left and I was in a completely different outfit. Well, that's future me. I'm past me. So what I want to talk to you guys a little bit about while they're setting up for this next guest that's coming on, and I'm sure they're going to be dope, but I want to talk to you a little bit about ways to support the channel. You see, there's a lot of work that goes into this channel, and the only way to keep it going, the only way to keep bringing on new people and upgrading the sets and upgrading the intros is by you supporting me. So here's a couple of ways that you can support me, and I'm not sure that a lot of you know this. If you're new to Twitch, you want to look down right here. There's a little subscribe button. That's the easiest way to support me. It's like $5. It's like buying me a cup of coffee. If we're at the bar, you're buying me a beer. If you're feeling a little more generous, maybe you want to gift somebody a free sub. If you are a Prime member, you can use your Prime membership. You get one per month. You can use that on me. It doesn't cost you anything. Now, if you're sitting there on the YouTube side, you can also hit that membership button right there, or you can give me a super chat and then send me off a tip. Look, I know that times are tough, money's tough, and I know that what I'm asking for some of you people might be a little too difficult. So there are other ways that you can help the channel. You can host the stream, share the stream. If you're on Facebook, if you're on YouTube, share the stream to everybody. Get the word out. That's the easiest way to help me out, and that doesn't cost you a dime. Those are just a couple of ways that you can do this. I think they're coming back, so I need to get out of here. Just remember what I said. We'll see you soon. Bye. Yo, 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 yo. What is going on?
Hey, what's up?
He's like, I might as well do some sorting. Let's just clean up this. Hey, that's okay though. That's okay. Oh, so you're doing a vinyl set?
Yeah, tonight we got 45 sessions. We got Diamond D as our special guest for tonight.
Oh, that's gonna be
dope.
All
45 tonight. Me, Plattern, and Diamond D. Yeah.
Okay, so I saw Diamond D. I haven't seen him too often, but I saw him at where were we? We at the Room at Cherry Poppin'. It's a little club out here in Southern California in Hollywood, and just murdered it. I mean, I knew he was a good DJ, but then you don't really know until you see somebody live. You're like, okay, you actually are dope.
He flies through them. You know what I mean? Like the last 45 sessions he did here in the Bay Area, he just ripped it. Like just and he had all the records out the sleeve, so he had it like a stack that high. So he's just doubles, and just rinsing tunes all day. Like
it's like a jukebox. Just all the records just sat up top. So all right. So thank you for being with us. Obviously, I mean, I know.
Thanks for having me, man.
And hey, not a problem. I mean, I've been wanting to get you on. I've actually been wanting to get several of the Beatjunkies on, and so this was a great start. I know Melody's in the chat. I definitely want to get Melody on also.
Hello.
Because it's I think a lot of people don't really realize that. I mean, first off, how influential the Beatjunkies are to the culture, and the things that you guys are doing to kind of keep DJing alive. I think one of the things that really impressed me, and I'm probably jumping ahead here, is during quarantine, when the Beatjunkies Institute of Sound, your school, the school, the Beatjunkies school, basically we all went down during quarantine. You know, nobody was really working. Nobody was doing anything. And you guys decided we're going to create this thing called Homeroom on YouTube, and we're going to give, free DJ lessons, free scratch lessons. That's so impressive to me. And where did that come from? Who decided, or how did that come to be?
I don't know if Mello can confirm with me, but I know Mello and D Styles definitely had a lot to do with it. Of course, the whole crew.
Sure.
But actually, I'm the only one from the Bay. Oh no, actually, I should say that me and D are the ones who don't live in the Bay in LA from the
Okay.
Beatjunkies. So, but when the guys told me that they wanted to set up the school online, I was like, man, that's perfect. You know what I mean? Because everyone's home, everyone's gonna be able to now we could give that attention that folks need. You know what I'm saying? So,
Mhm.
it just worked out really, man. I think it's dope that it's been able to I think we just got back into teaching again at the school. So
Right.
yeah, so but for the time that we were all that no one could go really no one was kind of people were sketchy about going outside and
Hmm.
going actually going out. It's good that we were able to just team up and then throughout the day. You know what I'm saying? You got I think Mello, if I'm not mistaken, we're on at 2 and 8 p.m. like
Hmm.
during the weekdays. Oh no, actually
Yeah,
every day.
and it keep changing every single day that you had a new person on.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, and we did the the beginner class and the intermediate and then the advanced classes with Babs and D style. So, just we had to, what better time to do it when everyone's home and that's the best time to
Well,
practice. Like during my classes, that's the first thing I said, yo, we're all locked in here, but all the better for us to just kind of cut it up together. You know what I'm saying? So,
right. And what's interesting to me is that a lot of people didn't realize. I saw somebody on there saying that oh wow, you were giving free lessons. Yes, and it was one of those things where I don't know that it was promoted, but I mean, if you're on your Instagram, you saw it there. If we followed Beat Junkies there, you would see it there. But it was the only time. I mean, you were getting lessons from Milo D, Shortkut, Babu, like like all these people were just showing you how to scratch. And I actually find it funny because even with some of the beginner slash intermediate classes, it was like going back to basics, almost like a boot camp. Because even I'm like, let me just take this real quick, and I'm going, he's moving a lot faster than even my mind is letting me do this right now. But I was like, this is good. It's forcing me to slow down and to like get back to ba 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 ba. All
yeah,
those things that you kind of forgot to do.
yeah, no
It's
doubt.
it helps. I was just doing it last night because I think people. I mean, look, for instance, for somebody like you, and you might even have the same situation, but I don't even claim to be a scratch technician like you are. But I got to a point where it was like, okay, I know my stuff. I'm comfortable with these scratches and these things, both hands. But then it seems like I got real busy with everything else, trying to provide, and it seems like I kind of lost some of my technique. So I had to go back and just stop for a minute, slow down, go back to the basics, and then your hands will naturally start to come back again. I mean, do you find the same thing, or you just been DJing for so long that it's like,
No,
every day?
to be honest, because I have to watch all the other fellas' classes just to kind of see what I need to teach. And when I watch their
Okay.
classes, I'm learning as well. You know what I'm saying? Like certain
Mm-hmm.
things, like um, anybody who knows how I scratch, I'm kind of like a quote unquote old school scratcher. I still do transforms and all that stuff. I don't even know like how to do Audubon or any of those kind of super
Mm-hmm.
technical flare scratches. But just being able to watch my boys do their classes and what I'm saying, I learn as well. You know what I'm saying, and I think that's what's the beauty of doing homeroom is because we're able to, no matter where you are in your DJ thing, like if you want to just enhance your scratches or enhance your mixing or just whatever, we'll be able to show that. And even if you're not even a DJ, you know what I'm saying, if you just want to get into it, we I know that there's we get a lot of people who just never kind of got into DJing or whatever, or probably never even heard of us, you know what I'm saying? But they're able to see what
Mm-hmm.
we do, and it just opens a whole new demographic of people who just who are just trying to get into something new while being at home. You know what I'm saying? So
Right. Right.
yeah, so
Yeah.
I think that's what's the dope
And
part about it.
and of course, I mean, look, it's still marketing because when we're finally out of this, and I know the school is was up. I think after the next level, we might be down again. I'm not even sure. Is the school still going, or is it down because of?
You know what? I have to talk to the fellows about that. I'm not even really
Gotcha.
sure, but yeah,
Gotcha.
but
But you guys were, but you did the YouTube shows, and a lot of people are like, oh, I'm sad I missed it. They're still there. They're still there on the channel, so you can go and you can learn, you can practice, and trust me when I tell you, it's like they're every single level of DJing, of scratch DJs, you're gonna learn something from, because there's so many. I mean, yeah, you can take it from Mellow, you can take it from Red, from Babu, and it's like, and they all scratch, a little differently, but it's not that. What I notice is, like, say for instance, if you are doing any type of like transform, the old school guys have their transforms down to the specific tones. So it's like when they're blah 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 blah, like it's the same every time. And that's one of those things that, like, as people that are just learning, they don't care for those nuances. You know what I mean? But like you go, oh, that's the way it's supposed to sound. So it gives you a chance to, like, again, slow down, learn a little more. So that's so that's fantastic. So
and
how
in fact, you could just watch it back. You could just watch it back whenever you want. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
that's the fun part about
exactly.
it. Like,
Yeah,
so.
yeah. I think I think Matt Skills is a perfect example, because a lot of people were like, oh, well, I don't want to DJ, I don't want to learn because I'm too old, and you're too old for this, can't do it. And then you see somebody like a Matt Skills. I had assumed before he came on the show that he had been DJing for years. I mean, it's like what, 4 years, 3 to 4 years of DJing, of like hardcore DJing, maybe 5. And the level that he's at right now just tells you that if you just put the work in, put the effort in, and obviously have some really good friends that are really good DJs, but that always helps. But if you just put the work in, that it's there for anyone, and it doesn't matter how old you are.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how old you are.
There's an avenue for you, especially now, with, I don't know, this little thing called quarantine.
Honestly, I think if the older you are, the more advantage you have as to be a DJ, because you just have that music selection, background. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yes.
you probably, I mean, it's the best time to do it, I think. So
I think you nailed that, and that's one of the things that a lot of people, I don't think they really get that. I mean, you can come in as a new DJ and have all the amazing technicality, but if you don't know the music, you're not gonna be successful. And all those old cats, like myself and even Matt Skills, our musical range is so large that we're able to do and be in any genre that we want to be. So I think I wish there's no way for a young person to just go, hey, you know what, learn all this, because for some of these things you had to be there for it, but you can still get there. It's just going to be a lot harder for you. What do you think?
No doubt. I mean, it's right now, if you have it's especially if you've been collecting music, like if you're just collecting MP3s at home, this is the best time just to take something up new. And, turntables are so cheap now. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, at least the secondhand ones. You know what I'm saying? You could get a pair of 12s, I see, for super cheap on wherever. But this is the best time to do it, I think.
Yeah, I agree. And even some of the new ones. I mean, people keep. I haven't used them yet, but the Audio Technica, the OEMs that are super cheap, they're like $250 brand new, something like that, and people compare them to the 1200, saying they're just as good. So, there's opportunities everywhere. Now,
no doubt.
Now let's talk a little history. Where did you? First off, when did you learn? Like, how long have you been DJing for? And I see your S11 here, but what was your first setup? What was your first setup you used?
My first setup was 2 belt-driven Techniques, SLBD ones. They were like the 1200s of the belt-driven ones, but they're like, yeah. I mean, I started when let me go back. I started when I was 12.
Okay.
I took my birthday money and bought just one mixer and one turntable, and this is just because around the neighborhood, at least in the Bay Area, there was a big sound system scene out here, and
Okay.
I was just super influenced off that. Like my the guy who taught me how to DJ was part of a sound system, and I eventually been part of that. Went into that sound system, and just going to the school dances. You know what I'm saying? Just watching DJs like that was my first thing about going to a school dance, and then looking at the DJs set up on stage, looked like a little mini rock concert. You know what I'm saying? And that super got me like, I was just mesmerized off it. I was like, man, that's dope. You know what I mean? And before that, I just thought DJing was scratching. I didn't even know it was like mixing or anything. So, but yeah, just going back from back then and just collecting records as a b-boy. When I was younger, and then just started collecting records more and more. And oh no, sorry, I'm going on a tangent, but
it's okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, man, just yeah, it's been a long time.
So that's not a green screen behind you then. Those are real
records.
Oh
no, these are real.
I'm kidding.
Yeah,
okay.
Funny enough, I do a show called Off the Shelves too, just so I could play records. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's very interesting that you would say that, because I have, my record collection. It's funny because I had my record collection, and then I sold it off when I thought I was just kind of done DJing, and this was before I started like my DJ company. But I still kept like my favorites, and I had an issue on Friday with my stream when my Rain 12s, my computer went down. It wasn't plugged in. It wasn't like it crashed on me. It went down, and I was thinking, it'd be great if I just moved over to my records over here and just popped a record on and kept playing, because it's one of the things that we forget. Analog doesn't crash. You know what I mean? Like, it always works. And that's always my fear of like just moving to the Rain 12s and be like, this is my only thing, because the what if scenario, what if it just doesn't work anymore?
I actually had two streams already where something happened to my Serato, where I eventually had to go to records, and I was able to continue with the show. You know what I'm saying? So that alone, just this is, man. I just when Serato first came and like everyone's selling their collections, I thought to myself, man, that's how can you all the years you've been certain records I could definitely part with, like records I know I'll never play again. But just certain records that like now that and I'm glad I did now. Just now that we're in quarantine, I do different themes every night. Like I'm able to pull different records for different shows, just if I have to. You know what I'm saying? And just thank God I collected. Thank God I held on to them. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, let's talk about that. But I do want to give some shout outs. DJ Icy Ice in the house. What's going on, fam?
Ice.
Flipside 33. I saw him in the house. Yeah, Beat Junkie Crew. Flipside 33. Make sure you look, all these people that we're mentioning, make sure you follow these people. These people have dope shows. I'm not just saying, oh, follow. Like, they legitimately have dope shows, and they don't even need me. Like, Ice was on. He's averaging, I think he just turns on his channel and there's like 150 people like waiting to get in. So so make sure you follow, Melody, Icy Ice. These are all Beat Junkie people, but even without the Beat Junkies, they're pushing forward and really being successful on Twitch. So that is my question to you. Now, when exactly did you get on Twitch, and did you do the Facebook thing or Facebook and IG and all that stuff before you moved over, or what were you doing?
Yeah, so I was doing Facebook since 2016.
Okay.
That was my online show. It was called Off the Shelves. And then
gotcha.
when lockdown came in, I think I hopped on Twitch around third week of March.
Okay.
Yeah, and I didn't really see too many DJs.
So like when quarantine hit. Wow, that's
impressive. Right when quarantine hit. Yeah, because I was I was still trying to figure out what to use and how to hook everything up, and it just then it was just like until now I'm just learning everything along the way as far as like the technical side of it. But I'm thankful I hopped on really early, just because I think when I was on, the only people I knew who I saw on my who I followed was I know that who was it? Questlove was on, and Rich Medina was on at the same time too.
Right. Yeah. Quest is always on though.
Yeah, he's always on.
Yeah, interesting. So when you're on, you had your show on Facebook. Did you ever do IG?
Nah, just because I know that everyone gets kicked off it like in mid set. And same thing with
exactly.
same thing with Facebook too. That's why I stopped Facebook and IG altogether. Just thought it wasn't worth it. You know what I mean? Like
so you saw the writing on the wall and then moved to Twitch.
Mhm.
How especially being that early in DJ Twitch life, how hard was it to get your people from Facebook to move over to Twitch?
It took a while. It took a while. You know, I think everyone was just like what is, oh man, you know, the big thing is, man, I got to sign up for something else. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
you know, and I get the whole being on IG thing, but you know, it's just the one thing that people until they get on Twitch is that interaction with the people actually watching you. You know what I mean? That's the viewers. I mean, that's one thing that that I think that took time for other DJs to kind of grasp. Like, oh man, like you know, and you know, definitely later on, you know, the whole monetizing thing. But I saw something definitely that what I liked about Twitch was something kind of reminded me of when I was on Facebook, was being able to talk to everybody real time. You know what I mean? Shouting out people in the room. You know, before emotes was like, yo, type of 1 if you feeling good, or you know what I mean, like just that kind of thing.
Right.
But yeah, it took a while, man. You know what I mean? Like, and I think there's still a lot of people who are still like not trying to make the jump over to Twitch, and I get it. You know what I mean? They don't know, they don't just you know, like damn, I don't want to sign up for anything else. But eventually, you know,
like it's all like it's so complicated.
Yeah, but you know, I mean,
people are stubborn.
Yeah, you know, but no, it's just they're not knowing, and then until they know, then they'll be like, oh damn, this is, you know what I mean? Like it took a while for everyone to figure out what was up with why the whole hype about IG, but then when everyone's on IG, then you know how it goes. It just takes a while for everybody to get used to certain things.
By the way, more shots out. We got DJ Ease in the house. What's going on, fam? We got Evil D in the house. Good to see you, man. Thanks for hanging out this morning. Appreciate you, DJ Feedback. Appreciate you. Yeah, look, this isn't for me. This is for you, man. They came to see you. Okay, so we're on Twitch. Your community's growing. What do you think, or what can you attribute to your success on Twitch? Like, what do you think, if you were to tell somebody new that was coming on and was like, well, how can I get to where you are? What do you think you do that creates this kind of, you know, community and connection?
Well, just, you know, it starts with the room. You know what I mean? I make everyone, you know, like at first, when I first started getting on, I only had like 50 people or even less than that. But, you know, I try to treat those 50 people like 500 people. You know what I mean? Shout everyone out, make everyone feel at home, make everyone feel like that's you know, I always tell people like, yo, this stream is yours just as much as it is mine. You know what I'm saying? And make everyone feel like, you know, welcome. I mean, you know what I mean? Like I and for me that was hard because I before this, I really never really talked on the mic. Like I wasn't one of those like, yo, what's up, y'all? You know what I mean? I wasn't one of those guys on the mic. But with the, you know, being just seeing, I don't know if it's I don't see people in front of me. Maybe I don't get as shy, but you know, when you see the same names just pop up in the room, and then you end up just, you know, getting to know each other.
Like family.
It's like family, and that's what I think what happened with my room. The same people just started showing up every night, and you know, and they just hanged out and they started talking amongst each other, and then the big thing was when we started rating somebody, they all felt like a mob. Like, yo, we're up in here. And I used to before I called my room the Chat Mafia, I called them the 10 p.m.ers because I started at 10 p.m. and then moved it to 8 p.m. Yo, what's up to all my 8 p.m.ers? And then but when they mobbed up, like, oh, we're all up in here, and then I felt like, damn, they're like a mafia kind of thing. So that's why I named it the Chat Mafia, because they always mobbed up in everyone's room after we raided. You know what I'm saying? But it was definitely like a sense of community and family after a while. You know what I'm saying? So
no, that's great. By the way, DJ Remark in the house. What's going on, fam? Good to see you. That's a snapback crew right there.
Unit.
So go ahead.
Oh no, sorry. I just seen all the people in the
room. Sound Society in the house too. What's going on? So all right. I think you're right. I think community is also important. And it's interesting that you would say that in the beginning, you didn't really talk much. Like that's not really your style of DJing. But at what point were you like, okay, I'm comfortable in my own microphone, my own skin. It's time to like actually like start kind of being myself. You know what I mean? Because it's not really a persona. This is you. You know, just like I'm on here and this is me. There's no man behind the curtain. You know, you see what you see is what you get. So at what point were you like, okay, I'm ready to be me?
Just just being in the room with people and then just having them talk, like we're just talking back and forth. You know what I mean? And that's just like, it's almost like if they're at you're DJing in your living room and everyone's just hanging out on the couch and just talking to you. That's how
Right.
I treat that's how I treat my streams. Like everyone's just hanging out. I even say like, yo, if you're just walking in, find a spot on the couch, hang out with us. You know what I mean? And
Right.
and people
Yeah,
feel like
that's
and
you're a part
they
of
make
it.
me feel comfortable as well. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
um
It's interesting.
yeah.
DJ Code said Twitch forced all the quiet DJs to act like Kid Capri. You know, I'm going to agree, but I'm also going to disagree because
Yeah.
yes, it forced people to become vocal. You can't be on Twitch and not be vocal.
No,
But
impossible.
when people started trying to act like other DJs because they saw somebody else and they saw the success that a specific DJ was having, and then they tried that and then it didn't work the same. It's like the only time it works is when you are being yourself, when you are being you, and you know, whatever, making mistakes or making jokes, whatever you are as a person. For instance, like you said, you're sitting at home on a couch with your boys. Whoever that person is, that's the person that needs to be on the stream. You know,
Word.
not the one you think you want people to see, but that person you are. And because you can kind of spot it, you can spot a fake a mile away.
Word. I mean, yeah. I mean, but for me too. Like, I think just the being in the room and seeing the same people every day, you become friends with them, and it's
Mhm.
I gotta say something. A month ago, we actually had a Chat Mafia meetup in San
Did you
Jose out
really?
here. Yeah, like
Oh
a
wow!
lot of people,
Like
flew out
real
from,
people, like face to
yeah,
face.
like face to face. People were in the room, like, yo, Short, I'm so and so. I'm like, oh shit, like, you know what I mean, like, but they flew out from all over. They flew out from Jersey, New York, Atlanta, Texas, Seattle, LA, Chicago, like, and everyone just met up, and that's just like,
That is so impressive.
that's amazing. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's because they all see each other every day in the room and hang out. And then my brother DJ Get Live, who I do a stream with every month, he came out also with from New York, and we actually did one of our streams that we do. We call it Coast to Coast, and we did it
Mhm.
live with them there. I mean, we're all apart, you know what I'm saying? But it was just dope, you know what I mean? Just to see like folks, like, for them to take their, go out of their way to come out and be together. That's beautiful, man. You know what I mean? Like, just from being in a chat room, you know what I'm saying? And us being like,
That
just being the soundtrack to everything. So,
so
you know,
I don't know that I could do that. I commend you, but like I'm so COVID insane.
oh, I feel you.
You know what I mean? That I couldn't have like a meetup. It would be weird. Hey,
I mean, it wasn't
that's
a lot.
fantastic.
Mind you, it wasn't a boatload of people, but it was definitely, it was like, it was, certain cats
Yeah,
that I
but they
see
flew out.
everything.
They flew
They
out.
flew out. Yeah. Well, I think, after 8 months of being home, then they were just like, man, and they see these people every day and talk to them, and then they all go to different other people's room, and
Mhm.
and hang out too. It's like, they just, it was dope. I mean, definitely we're trying to be all safe about it, but it's just dope that everyone
Right.
came out, and what I'm saying, like, just
It's all that IRL is now. We
yeah,
don't even
that
call it real
IRL.
life anymore. We got to break it
Yes,
into acronyms.
yeah.
But
So
it's funny though because I think, like, for instance, for something like that, I had that kind of like IRL moment was like, when you go to NAM, and you see people that maybe spend a lot of time watching you, but you have no idea who's out there and who's actually really watching until you're there. And people are like, oh, hey, Shortkut, what's up, man? I blah, 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 blah. You're like, oh, I didn't know,
yeah,
but it's like
no, totally.
with, but with Twitch, you know everybody that's on your stream. You see them on a daily, where it's
Yeah.
almost to a point where you're like, I honestly can't believe that you were still here watching my stream. Like, thank you, I appreciate that, but like I can't believe you're not tired of me yet. So
It's it's I mean, like I said, it's having a community in your room and having them like just come out every time and check you out. I mean, like there's right now there's so many dope DJs who are streaming, but for them to come over, like come to my room and be there constantly and what I mean, consistently, it's a blessing. Seriously, you know what I mean. And
yeah,
and now that I'm 9 months into it, it's it's crazy. You know what I mean? Yeah.
it is crazy. 9 months into it. First off, when you think about it, the fact that we've been in COVID for quarantine for 9 months is absolutely insane.
Mhm.
The fact that right now this stream seems so normal. If this were January or February and somebody said, "Hey, you're going to create a little talk show on Twitch and you're going to bring," I'd be like, "Hell no. There's no way I'm doing that." But now our new normal is so different. Where you're thinking, "Oh, let me set up my records because I have a 45 show later on for a bunch of people that are watching this on their phones and on their." It's just, it's so bizarre. But where do you see this going in the future? Like once we are out of quarantine, where do you see this going, and where do you want to go specifically?
I mean, whenever that is, really, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, just I never really thought streaming was going to be a thing for me. I mean, I when I did my first show on Facebook on those days, I would only do it because whenever I'm not on tour, you know what I'm saying? I would just go on.
Right.
Whenever I'm home, I'll do the show, you know what I'm saying? And I just pop up. I just never do it. But now, I mean, now that we're all home and we're doing this thing, I mean, we're all the DJs especially in the room right now that we're all streamers and stuff. I'm just trying to keep it consistent, really. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I set a certain time and certain days for people to just know that I'll be on these days and hopefully they'll come through and and I'll try to just keep it different, really. You know what I mean? Like just just and and since we all haven't really streamed like this before, we're learning along
Right.
the way. You know what I'm saying? We're learning what works,
Yeah.
what doesn't work, and what we can do to enhance the shows. And yeah, I mean,
And
really, like I can't
when
really foresee anything, to be honest with you, just because I don't know. People were saying this is going to be over in September, and it's not. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna. I don't see it happening. Us being out of here for a minute. So I'm just trying to
you can't trust anybody's statement. I mean, when we went down in March, they were like, "Oh, by June, we'll be good to go," because for whatever reason, somebody said that the summer kills diseases.
Yep.
So
Saying.
now we're still in that. And then they said recently, I don't know if you were following the news. Oh, but by the way, once we get through this presidential race,
It's gonna be no one's gonna be talking about.
Exactly. And now we're in our second phase. The only one that was right was Fauci. He's the only one that said this is going to continue to happen and we're going to see another surge in December. He's the only one that was right.
Yeah, so I think as DJs, we and I've been saying this for a while. Like we're also healers through this. I mean, to be honest, if I didn't stream, I I'd probably go into production and all that, but just I need that. I don't know. I just need to be able to talk to folks and you know what I mean, and play for that makes me happy to play for people. You know what I'm saying? So.
Well, when you spend your entire life literally in front of people, as like you've done, I think it's really hard to say, okay, now just stop doing what you're doing. And first off, go get another job. That's the thing that a lot of people love to put out there for DJs. Well, hey, go get another job. Do like you can't expect to live off this for the rest of your life. And it's like,
oh yeah,
this is a business. It might be a business of one, but it's still a business. And you were touring. How much would you say that you did you spend touring versus like
man,
that much, huh?
I know Mello and Ice are gonna laugh at that, but I was out literally like at least every other weekend, and if not over,
Really?
I mean, really, if anything overseas. You know what I'm saying? Like I would spend like a whole 3 weeks in. But right before the lockdown, I was in Asia, and me and my girl did Asia for 3 weeks. So
Jeez.
we were on tour. Like we started started in Japan, and then went to Bangkok, and then went to Singapore. Then I missed my South Korea gig because because all that was happening, the blow up of what I mean. So I had to cancel that gig. But that was every month thing for me. So to be home just and not go out at all, it's just like what the hell, like. But like I said, I'm
Did
really.
you have any what do they call that when you're stuck in a place and you're not used to it and you just stir crazy? Did you have any of the stir craziness happening?
No. I mean, I think being at home and just jumping on the stream already, it just made me feel like okay, I right away I just like okay, I gotta keep it moving, and I can't stop. I can't stop and think what I'm gonna do. I just gotta keep it moving, and just going on Facebook for the first time for the first week that I was streaming. That was a trip, you know what I mean? And I was on like every day on Facebook for the week before I got on Twitch. So
I think that happens to everybody. They get a little bit like they get so hyped because they're finally doing what they love again. So it's they're just on nonstop.
Yeah, no, for real. But I think what made me want to go on as much as I do is number one, for the longest time, like back in the days, it was kind of hard. Like people thought I just did nothing but scratch. A lot of promoters, and now being able to be on Twitch, it just shows. Now I could DJ whatever I want to play. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why I do different themes every night, just so I can show. Just so I could. For me, I could play whatever I've been wanting to play as a DJ for a long time. You know what I mean? And and just be able to kind of just spread my musical range out there. And, and I'm thankful that people are with it. You know what I'm saying? Like I was afraid of what was the one night I was afraid of doing like a yacht rock night. You know what I mean? And like, but like,
which is real popular on Twitch, by the way. Like that's a good go-to.
Yeah, I was able to play that, but I was able, but that was one of my biggest nights that people kind of came in and checked out. I was like, go figure. I don't even know. You know what I mean? Like, but that's what I'm saying. Like right now, I think for any DJ who's trying to stream right now, this is the best time to do it. This is the best time for you to kind of not, now you don't have a promoter in your ear about like, forcing you what to especially, for me, like if I play a primetime set, I gotta kind of play a couple of like, or a few of those hits for people because it's that prime time. But now it's like, it's just all on you. It's whatever you want to do. And I think that's the best time. You know what I'm saying?
So,
these are the best times to do that. So for sure.
Right. So fast forward and let's say we get out of this. We will get out of this. Not let's say.
Eventually.
And then you start DJing again. Do you incorporate any of the stuff you do on Twitch into your live show, or do you kind of go back to basics?
What I want to do is I was thinking about it. If and when we get out of this and we start doing shows again, I would love to have an Ethernet cable on my rider. You know what I mean? To the DJ booth, because I would love now. I was thinking about this. Like if we get out of here, that'd be dope for me to be able to stream my shows. Like you know what I'm saying? And like I'll bring like a streaming laptop, and then like maybe two webcams, one on me and one on the crowd. You know what I'm saying? And then be able to like,
you see how we're thinking now?
You know what I'm saying? We're here live. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I mean, but I never thought of that even before this. But like now I'm gonna be asking all the venues, how good is your internet?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So
yeah, what they're like, oh, it's great, it's 500. No, what's your upload speed?
Yeah, what is your upload? I
only care about your upload speed.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
I
think that's what's going to come down to for me. Yeah, no, for sure. So.
Yeah, and it's funny because I think that I think James was talking about this. James Holland was saying that when, and we've all experienced this. You're DJing at a club, and they frowned. You couldn't stream. They didn't want anybody knowing the magic behind the club. But it's like nowadays, you kind of. I think in the future, we're going to see a lot more clubs streaming from their DJs because first off, there's a fan base that a lot of these DJs are picking up that maybe will never be able to get to your venue, because I mean, look, if I DJ in Hollywood somewhere, the people that are chilling in Germany and the UK in the morning, they're not coming to the club. So what does it matter if they're watching the stream? You know what I mean?
Right.
But I think that's where we're headed though. That's where we're headed.
Eventually, gonna go to that. I think.
Yeah, and then the clubs will maybe start to do it more.
Yeah, but I think that's a dope thing. I mean, now if I was a club owner, I'll be like, man, I'm about to curate all these sets that we have all these DJs come to our venue and DJ. That's good for the club too. You know what I mean? That's something that they can hold for themselves and give the same set to the DJs, and that's just promotion for the club and for DJs, and you know what I mean. Everyone wins on that one. You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
But eventually it's going to go. I think it'll get to that. You know what I'm saying? So,
and if you think about it, like if I were a club owner, I think that would be one of those enticements. Like, you see this guy on Twitch, but wouldn't it be amazing if you could see him do the same thing live? And now the DJ again finally becomes the focal point. It's not about the promoter. It's not about the bottle service, although bottle service, that's not going away. That's coming back.
Yeah, for sure.
But but still, I think it would be so interesting if the club's like, yeah, we want you to come do your spot, and you're like, okay, but I'm gonna DJ the way I DJ. So we might pop up a Barry White track in the middle of a Little John track, and you got to be okay with it because this is what I do. This is my thing, and not just okay. Stick to the classics. Stick to what works, and don't deviate. I think we might be out of that if the DJs stick together. I think that's the key.
Yeah, it also depends. Like, it also depends on the venue. I gotta say that too, because there's certain venues that kind of have that vibe where they want you to play certain things. But if it's another venue where it's like where they booked you specifically to do what you do, then you can But like I said, it's gonna be per venue basis. I think of how that's gonna go. You know what I mean? But regardless, I mean, I want to have that. I definitely want to have an Ethernet wire on my rider from now on, because I would love, just because there's so many cats who like, if I'm going to be in LA, but then the folks in Asia, oh man, I want to see what you're doing in that LA show. Well, that's dope. Now you know what I mean? Like, everyone's going to feel a part of it. Like, what's I can tell everyone in the crowd in LA, like, we got people from around the world watching right now. Say what's up. You know what I mean? Like, just it just adds that vibe to it. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I'm just kind of foreseeing that, but.
And heaven forbid that a DJ actually become the reason that people go to clubs. Heaven forbid that we actually are artists and we are generating our own buzz. Like, who would have thought? Like, that's what we've always been fighting for. No, we DJ to get people going. It's not about the bottle service. It's not about that. I'm curious to know how much, because there's a lot of DJs on here that I remember, well, not on here, I should say, that I remember going to the club and seeing specific DJs. I have not seen them on Twitch, on IG, on Facebook the entire time. So what happens after quarantine ends and they finally open the clubs back up? Do the same promoters pop up, bring in the same friends they've always been bringing in to do the clubs, and we're back to the same old bottle service, or are we going to see something different?
just because I do both kind of clubs, I just know how it is. I mean, as far as like what, those bottle service clubs are definitely going to go back to, to what kind of creates that vibe. But then there's other venues that are just like on some straight venues with not too much emphasis on the bar or the bottle service, that are going to get like certain DJs just to do a performance kind of style DJing or something like that. So like you said, I think the ball service thing is not going to go away, which is understandable. I mean, if you have a venue that you're just pushing that, and I get it. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like, I think what Twitch does, if you're a venue owner, hey, you should definitely look at all the DJs you could be possibly booking now at your venue. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And whether how you want to place them. Like, if you're a venue owner that owns two kind of clubs that does bottle service, and the one that just has just like a stage and that's it kind of thing, then who to, you know what I mean? It's going to be, I think it's going to come down to that. But like right now, that's what I'm saying. Like, I always promote, like, other DJs who haven't considered streaming yet, stream now. You know what I mean? Like I think this is the best time to do it because you got an instant crowd in front of you. Not instant crowd, but I mean, like even if you got 2 people, treat them like 200 people. You know what I mean? Like because you never know.
Sorry,
Like it just starts growing. I don't know.
no, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at T Diesel. Bottle service is going to be even bigger because everyone will want their own bottle.
Bottle,
That's kind of facts.
Hey,
that
that's
is
for
kind
real,
of
though.
facts right there.
That's a good one. That's a good point right there. Yeah, you can't, right?
Oh man, no, but that but it's interesting because like I've never considered. Well, I'm kind of a germaphobe, but not really. But I am. Like in my house, I have kids. Okay, and anybody that has kids understands this. It's literally the moment you send them to school, the entire house is sick, like no matter what. So I've always made it a point that when the kids go back to school for like the first like month, I barely touch my kids. It's like daps and like because you're gonna get sick. And my DJ company, we do a lot of bar and bat mitzvahs and corporate events, and so we kind of flow with the school season. And so I just kind of don't touch my people until we're over that sickness time. So, Love Cat says, yes. So I can't even imagine going to a club, not knowing where these people have been, what kind of sicknesses they have, and having the same connection or relationship that we had prior to COVID. I mean, how much are you actually giving high fives and daps and all those things with people you've never met before?
Well,
you know what I mean?
That's why I think when it comes back to opening clubs up, how's that going to work? I mean, like when number one, when is that going to happen? Because even if everyone gets this vaccine, let's say the vaccine works and everyone gets cool and everyone's all healthy again, but like I'll still be hesitant to like I mean, like it's
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like when normal will ever come back, I can't even put my finger on it. You know what I'm saying? So.
Look, the Asian countries got it right. When you have a lot of people in a concentrated area, even if there's no diseases, just wear a mask. Just protect yourself. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's kind of, I'm seeing us slow down a bit here. Hold on. Let's see what's going on here.
Are you kind of freezing up, huh?
Yeah, I'm seeing that on,
is his audio freezing up, y'all?
The audio seems fine. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right. I'm gonna do what I normally do and do a little bit of a speed test. Hold on. Let's see what's.
Hey, you know what?
There's a definite dry.
Try doing this. Try just putting me full screen and going back away and put both of us back on.
That's what we'll do.
That's actually that worked for me one time when this happened.
Actually, I can't do any of that right now. It won't even let me change it up. Let me do a refresh. Just my entire browser says I don't want to deal with you today. All right, hold up.
Shout out to the chat mafia in here. Koi Bong. Nina.
All right, you keep going. I'm gonna do a hard stop here.
All right. Well, I guess I'll say what's up to the crew. What's up, y'all? Flip side, what's good? Vic Vaughn, Unit, Chat Mafia family in here. Papa Lock, AVB, Milky 513, what's good? Rat Bone 2001, Joe Art, Mighty Rel, 916 Junglist, what's up to the Sack fam? Queso, Nephew Washington, what's good? Ren, True School, what's good, bro? Liz, I don't want to mess your name up. What's up to Kansas City? GC1, Professor BX, Skelly B, Boom Bap Kids. What's up, Silent John? Just Grin Pro DJ. Just Grin Pro DJ. Yo, is Mello still in here? Mello? Ice? Gemini, how did you get with Jazzy Jeff on and his streams? Oh, yeah, he asked me to get on. I'm so thankful. Empire Dam, Steve Dub, Break Bites, Feedback. Damn, this is going all quick now. Mighty Rail, what's good? Oh, there. Mellow, what's up? Melody. Yo, make sure you check out Melody tonight. J Rock on the Beatjunkies page. And then go back and forth between their page and my page. I got Diamond D tonight with DJ Platinum for 45 sessions. How much do you like the phase? Love it. It definitely makes the stream go a lot easier instead of I always gotta clean the needles. I know there's a lot of dust in the room, so hold on. Oh shit, this is going hella fast. How did I get over Mike shyness? Ooh, good question. You know what? I watched a lot of sound clashes. I'm a big dancehall fan, and if you ever watch this DJ, his name is actually my favorite DJ. Period is David Rodigan. If you watch the way he talks, he talks in a way where it's still inviting and but informative and you know what I'm saying. Just if you just definitely Google David Rodigan. Is my favorite DJ of all time, straight up. Yeah. Sorry, I don't have access to the chat, but the chat's going hella quick. But I saw someone ask about the vinyl. Yo, these are dope. Mello, you got to give me the contacts to Ortofon. I love the needles. These are dope. The new Ortofon needles they look like they almost look like a 44/7, but they hang really nice. Like I've been doing 45s on them, and they're pretty sick. So, see how dusty control vinyl. Sorry, y'all. I think it's going hell. Okay, thanks for slowing down the chat. Yeah, I just got the email from FaZe. I gotta check that out, see what the update is. But I can't wait till they have that new update. Yeah. Since Terry isn't in here, if you guys have any questions. Oh, there you go. Flip side, what's the question? Rat Bone, thank you so much. Oh, did it just stop? Hold on. Oh, you want to hear the story about how I got involved with the Gap commercial? Oh, damn, that was a long time ago. The Gap commercial happened back in my manager at the time. Just got the call for it, and I got they wanted me and Rob Swift to do it. I was like, whoa, cool. And yeah, damn, that was a trip doing that commercial because that was on the same lot. Like I think right before us was the Daft Punk commercial that they just shot with the man, I forgot her name, but yeah, that was dope, man. That was like a 13-hour shoot. What's funny though is we had to teach Shannon Sossaman how to actually even because me and Rob Swift did the whole audio thing at the hotel the night before because we were trying to clear a sample from John Coltrane and his family wouldn't clear it, so we ended up going with Dizzy Gillespie's Matrix, that song Matrix. So yeah, we got that. We got the audio for that, and then yeah, 13 hours. It was a long shoot. It was so dope, but yeah, it was fresh. Paul Hunter was the director, and man, such a good experience. It was at Universal Studios. It was a trip. Like I'm actually at one of the studio lots, and then I'm seeing those buses that carry all the people, kind of going around, and I'm like, I'm the one waving hi to them. So it was pretty funny. But yeah, that's such a great experience, man. I think what the greatest experience from that commercial was being in Japan. Then I think 3 months after that, and being in Shibuya Square, and I saw that I was there seeing man. I wish I had a camera, but the commercial was playing in the center, in Shibuya, in the Shibuya crosswalk in Tokyo. So that was dope. Dope experience. And yeah, Nina, she is a DJ too. She's a rock DJ. What type of slip mats am I rocking? These are the tablecloths. The Funk Shit Ups by my brother D Styles. Been rocking these forever. Tonight. If you join me, I'll pop some. All right. Ooh, Terry's not here yet. All right. Should I? Oh, there you are.
Hold on, see if I'm getting back. Am I here?
Yep, you're here. I see you.
I'm still seeing a delay. You can clearly see it on mine. I don't know what's going on.
It's not a crazy. Is your audio? Is this audio good at least, y'all? Can you guys hear him? Everybody?
Can you hear my audio? Is my audio okay? You're back, but it's hella delayed.
Oh.
Yeah, my internet's been acting a little weird for the moment here. So let's do this. I'm gonna try to clear this out. But let's.
Oh, remark. So I found out about the whole business Wi-Fi thing. It wasn't even worth getting it, to be honest with you. So I'm still on the I'm still on the home Wi-Fi. But I had I don't know if any of you guys caught my stream check, but I actually had the Xfinity guy here with me, and just he actually what happened was the wire connected to my house. A freaking squirrel was gnawing on the wire, so I was losing so much everything from that. So he just he just put in a new wire, and so far so good. But yeah. And on top of that, I guess people who lived here before, they had like a splitter going, and it was just everything that they had hooked up was just losing more control, or I mean, sorry, more signal to the internet here. But I'm up now. So far I haven't been below 15, but I'm paying for 35 upload, but I haven't been getting it. But yeah, we'll see. Hopefully, but yeah, those damn squirrels, man. Yeah, should I do a set or something? What's up, y'all? Yeah, exactly. The Concord MK2 scratch versus the vinyl. You know what? I always thought of the Concords to be a little harsh on vinyl, just because it kind of ate up my records when I scratched. But with these, I'm gonna test them out tonight. Especially for the 45 sessions. That's why I've been getting my 45s together. But I'm gonna try it out tonight. Uh-oh. Am I freezing up, y'all? How did you get the custom Simon Says track where they say your name? T for the DJ. So I'm a pretty avid dub plate collector. I really can't give out my sources, but I try to make connections to get all these dub plates for the crew, especially. But yeah, just definitely a lot of networking. Oh, what kind of equipment I'm using? Yeah, got the new S11. It works so dope. I had a little audio issue with it before, but I figured it out, and now it's working perfect, and it hasn't left yet. I'm still stuck on my original 1210s, the ones I got in '98, and they're still working, and they're still, man, I love them. Yeah, the S11 is so dope. Like I gotta, I'm gonna hit up my boy Drew in here to give me more. I know I could do a lot more stuff than I'm doing, but so I'm still on S9 mode. But I know that I've been watching like YouTube University pretty much, just checking out what else it does. So yeah. Hold on, let me back up. Do I ever go to controller for convenience, and is it harder to go from turntables to controller, or from control? I personally can't really mess with controller as much until it spins. I don't know. I just maybe what I'm saying. I just gotta feel be on the right controller that I feel comfortable on. But I'm sure it's dope. I mean, I was on CDJs at some point too, and I I was able to mess with them. But I think I'm just so used to something spinning, and just knowing that I have that control over it, whether if I put my thumb on it to slow something down, then I know it's slowing down, kind of thing. You know what I mean? So, I know in the near future, hopefully something's coming through. All right. Do I use a GoPro? No, I don't use a GoPro. I'm using Logitech's eventually trying to move up to a DSLR. And big up our sister Nina 9. Yep, tonight, Diamond D. Did you change the crossfader utility to something other than the default of 7 in the menu? No, I didn't change the. The only thing I changed on the crossfader was putting the plastic bumpers. So I got that click now instead of the like a. Oh, what up, Drew? But yeah, the plastic bumpers on this crossfader, man, they feel so dope because I don't know, I'm still a fan of the old 05 faders from the Vestax days. I actually like the metal. The metal clicks a lot better, but the plastic ones are definitely just as close. So I don't know if you guys ever open your S11s, or I don't even know if Drew, does the S9 have it too, where you can open the platter and then you have the bumpers that you could set in there, hopefully. But yeah. Yeah, I tried the NS7s, the new marks. Those are cool. But still, if you're asking me to choose one or the other, I just love turntables. I mean, for me, just visually too. Like, I mean, call me a dinosaur, but I just seeing a DJ on turntables is just so much interesting more to me, especially if you're
Okay.
especially if you're streaming.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, and you are a lot fluid now. Yeah, you're better, I think. But
so
cool? Cool?
I think we're cool, but I have to look over here because I think I know the problem. Something's going on with my charger. I don't know if it's the charger or if it's the computer running too hard because it's not charging fast enough anymore. So I think I have to reset the little BIOS so it'll charge properly.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna move you over here so you're close to my camera so I can kind of see what's going on. But yeah, so we're at 1% at the moment. And it was plugged in. It's been plugged in the whole time. So for whatever reason, it's not charging the way it's supposed to be. So I am going to just prepare.
I think you just cut out.
Yeah.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah, so I'm going to keep that one there. See, now we're going. Okay, now I'm going to take myself off. Okay, so just in the event that something happens, I can just hop over to that one.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm trying.
You missed my squirrel story, Terry.
No, what I did? What were we talking about?
So I was telling everyone like why my internet was bugging, especially I was doing that stream with Jazzy Jeff and Bastard a couple of weeks ago, and in the end of my set, it just started getting really like pixelated, crackly, everything. I was just like, it turned to shit. Apparently, a fucking squirrel was gnawing on the wire.
Oh man!
From the power to the cable guy showed me like it was just all gnawed up, and then he just replaced the wire. So it's been good for now. But it just shows you like even with DJing, when you're if one thing is wrong, then everything else is wrong. You know what I'm saying? So
it only takes one thing. One thing will knock out your whole thing.
Even one small thing will mess it up.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and the worst part is it doesn't just knock it out, but like it messes with your whole like aura. Like everything is off after that. Where you're just like, ugh. But now
tried during midstream, and that's the worst. Like what? You know what I mean? Like it's happened a couple of times to me already. So,
but the funny thing is, if you think about it, at what point in time could you have a stream crash and people still stay on? They're okay with it. They laugh it off. Like that never used to happen. I mean, if you went down at a club, you'd be booed off and you've never worked there again. Yeah. But in this place, you're like, oh, sorry, hello problem.
This is the one thing I can't hear from the chat room was the you know what I mean? Like
right.
When someone goes down, like So like, thank goodness I'm not hearing that. But
yeah, I know a lot of people. This is what happens anytime something crashes. I get a whole bunch of tech guys in here. Like, is it the weather? It's just like it's 78 degrees here. It's nothing. I had this issue happen to me recently with another application I was using. What was I using? Oh, virtual DJ. I was testing virtual DJ with the Rain 72, and so it happens. But now I'm starting to believe that I just need to reset my BIOS and all that stuff, the PRAM, and then it'll start charging the way it's supposed to. Probably just a little glitch. It is. You roll through it. I mean, that's kind of what we do in life. We just kind of roll through all the problems.
I think people know that, especially that you're in the chat. You know, if you're in the chat room and you know that we're doing this from home and all that. If something goes wrong, just gotta be patient. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
I'm just thankful that I'm thankful that my audience is super patient. So, and I got my co-pilot Fran Boogie. He's in the room too. He's in the chat room just talking to everybody too. So big up my brother Fran Boogie, who just keeps everyone engaged. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, Fran is everywhere. If Fran is not everywhere, then Miss Fran is everywhere. Like, I don't know how do they even talk? They're just always online, always on Twitch.
I don't even know Miss Fran Boogie, to be honest with you.
Yeah, let's see, 916 Junglist. Yep, thank you. I know. Everybody's a tech guy right now. Fran Boogie is your Wookiee. Oh, no relation? Are you serious?
No,
There's no relation.
Absolutely. Dude,
that's hilarious.
The first thing I was thinking, like, who is that? Like, I don't know.
I just assumed. I assumed they were related. That's so funny. Okay. All right. So now speaking of I want to talk a little bit about your unorthodox style. Specifically, I pulled up a video and we're gonna show you that now, and then we can talk about it. Oh, it's harmless. Hold on.
Okay, Shortkut reloaded. One time for your mind, for your mind. One time for your mind. One time for your mind, for your mind. One time. Yeah. One time for your mind, for your mind. One time for your mind. One for your mind, One time.
Drop it. Drop it.
One time for your mind, for your mind. One time for your mind. One time for your mind, for your mind. One time. Yeah. One time for your mind, for your mind. One time for your mind. One time for your mind, One time.
Drop it.
All right. Now, yeah, let's talk a little bit about the upfader, because you are one of the only, not one of the only DJs, but like the skills required to use upfaders as kind of like your transformers, is what you were saying. Did you learn on the upfaders, or did you move over from like the normal switch? Remember the old school switch transformer? Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's why. That mixer right there, that 1150,
God.
the Newmark 1150 is the reason why I scratch up faders.
Oh man, that's insane.
I mean, that was our battle mixer out here on the West Coast, right? That was, everybody up here in Northern California, Apollo, Mixmaster Mike, Hubert, they were on the 1150. Everyone down in LA, all the mix masters, especially Aladdin, Joe Cooley, and that's what I knew. You know what I'm saying? That's what my boy who taught me how to DJ on his set, he had a 19-inch Newmark 1775, and it had that switch, and that's how that's how I still scratch that way to this day. You know what I mean?
That's great. But what I always tell people, I think, however you learned, that's how you're going to DJ. It's really hard to change kind of, your innate ability to kind of learn how to do a certain thing, because there's certain people it's like DJing hamster, people learn to hamster and that's what they do. You can't teach them to go back the other way. It feels alien to them,
I mean, for me too, when I first started, I was turntable mixer. You know what I'm saying? And,
okay.
And so this fader right here, if the turntable is here and the mixer is right here, I'm scratching hamster right away. So that's why when I moved over to put the mixer in the middle, that's why I still had to scratch that way because I was just so used to it. And then the up and down is definitely from the line switches.
Mm-hmm. That's
wow. Yeah.
So I assume your cut is super sharp on the up fader. It has to be.
Try to be.
No, I meant the actual fader curve.
Oh yeah. I put the curve all the way, like all the way to the right. So I'm getting that. I'm still getting that line switch kind of feel.
Now, when you use the actual crossfader, do you still think that your up fade is better than your crossfade skill?
It's the same actually, because
Same?
going up and down is the same as being hamster.
Gotcha.
So if you ever watch Mixmaster Mike and see how he does this thing where he goes up, like up crossfader, but he's doing the same scratch just because he's hamster as well.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. That makes sense.
Yeah.
My boy, I don't know if Professor BX is still in the chat, but my boy Professor BX is Drew Bach, and Drew Bach has apparently worked for like 30 different DJ companies out there. So he sent me this and said you would get a kick out of it. So let me see if I can pull it up here. Where'd I put it? Ah, there we go. I don't know if you'll be able to see this. It's a picture, but let's pull you up. There we go. Do you recognize that?
Damn, I sure do. That is the original specs to the 05.
Right.
Yeah, man.
So you had a hand to play in that, right?
Yeah, definitely. That was actually supposed to. I mean, damn, am I putting people on blast here? But it was supposed to. Okay, let me say this much. That mixer was supposed to be with a company that I was working with before Vestax. And they just didn't think too much of it. They thought like, oh man, this is during the time where like some certain mixers had like transforming buttons on it or something like that. Like it doesn't have that. It doesn't have this. I'm like, yo, trust me, this is like a battle DJ mixer that I'm currently a battle DJ, and this is simplistic, more simplicity the better. You know what I'm saying? Like, but with that, I mean, if you see it, it's just the most essential ones. And I think one thing that I was happy with Vestax is they really paid attention to the crossfader or just the faders being more smooth, if anything. I think before the 05, I think the PMX2 DMC mixers was the only fader that I really liked that were that kind of had that smooth kind of feel to it. You know what I mean? But
gotcha.
Yeah. But big up Vestax, man. I mean, they definitely listened to us, and then over time, we'd have meetings with them, and then Rep Matic would jump on with me, and we'd give them our ideas and stuff. And I think one year I think it was 95, we went to Japan, and they had it made. They had it made it. I still got my OG 05 here, but yeah, man.
The 05 was industry standard. I mean, that was the mixer that kind of changed everything, and that was actually still to this day probably one of my favorite mixers, just because it's so basic in everything that it does, but everything that it does well.
Yeah,
it's just
absolutely.
it's exactly what you need. Now, besides the fact that I always say this because I used it when I used to do like my private gigs. The mic preamp was garbage.
Yeah.
Worst thing about the mixer was the mic.
And I think that's what it was too. They were really, they thought of it as a scratch or a DJ performance mixer, to the point where they thought, like, I think they maybe didn't really trip off the mic as much. You know what I mean? Maybe they thought that the sound man and going through the mixing board would have the mics hooked up, kind of thing. But
right.
And to be honest too, like, I didn't even really trip off it as well. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't talk on the mic. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, right.
but I definitely, I'm glad that they listened to certain things that we've been wanting for a long time, especially the reverse button. I mean, the reverse switch. That was a big one.
Right.
And before the OG 05s, the first 05s, the gray ones, didn't have a switch on it, so they had to install one on all the pickles, all our mixers. They did custom ones before the actual ones came out.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
It's interesting that you would say this. And by the way, shout out to KG Superstar. That's the legend MC of Southern California. If there's a hip hop R&B groove spot, he's probably there. That's my man now, and he's a super dope barber too. You mentioned that as far as the 05 was concerned, and that they didn't really think about the microphone, like that was an afterthought because it was really about the battle DJ situation here. And then you move forward, and then you have like the 57 and the S9 and now the S11 that's right in front of you. Right. What is your thoughts on the evolution of the mixer? And do you find that it's perfect or it's too much? I mean, what's your thoughts from going from like a 05 to where we are now?
I think it's awesome. I think it's incredible that you know what I mean? Like just for me personally, just being able to see the evolution of what it was before. Like that's why I still collect all my mixers back of me. You know what I'm saying? I love that, every mixer has its own kind of like own character, right? Like, for example, the 2200 Gemini, the one that's in the middle of all my mixers, is still my, on that is just different from every other scratch mixer because you know exactly how it sounds when Jazzy Jeff, DJ Miz, Cash Money, how they scratch on their records. They use that mixer, and you can hear like maybe a little bit of the static or whatever, but just that kind of feel to. But now that it's like
a guitar, like a guitar with a specific pickup, you're like, I can hear a Fender a mile away. Like that's kind of what it is.
Right. Even with the line switch, if you listen to all the Gangstar records with Premier scratching on them, you could hear the static on the switch as he's scratching.
Right.
I mean, that's just I love that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I love hearing that. But now that we evolved to everything, and I mean, like, I wouldn't even say it's this much. I think it's not a lot. I think it's just there's more to it that's gonna even probably come even more. I think with every mixer made, we always find something like, oh damn, if it did that,
right?
You know what I mean? And then
yeah, it never stops. The moment we find out that we can do something that we couldn't do before, we're like, oh, I was just talking to Drew yesterday. I was working on I was testing some products. And I have a good relationship with Drew because Drew works for Pioneer, but he knows that I'm currently testing the Rain 72 setup. And I was using Scratchbank yesterday, and it did something on the Rain 72 where I wasn't sure because my S11's sitting over there, but it's not plugged in. And I wasn't sure that it happened. So like 2 a.m, I'm like, hey man, this is what I'm getting. Is this right? And he kind of talks me through it. He's like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. He's like, but how dare you come at me with this other mixer when I'm like, you know what? My bad. But I think that even something as cool as like a Scratchbank, you start utilizing it, you start using it, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, it'd be really cool if it did this too. And so it never stops. You just kind of keep progressing, keep pushing forward. And, which I think is great. I think a lot of the old school, there's a lot of old school DJs that are like, you don't need all that stuff, and you're a veteran DJ. So when a DJ says you don't need all that stuff, all you need is 2 turntables, a mixer, and some vinyl. All this other stuff is bullshit, and it's just making DJs weak. What is your response to them?
Mm, I mean, number one, to each his own. I mean, I know a lot. I still have a bunch of friends who actually still think that way. But to me, it's like, what's wrong with enhancing your performance? You know what I'm saying? What, you know, before the echo was on, we had to fade echo out. You know what I'm saying? Like now I could just, you know what I mean? That's you know, you got to embrace change, man. You got to embrace technology, and I think I've been saying this forever. Like without influence, there is no change. You know what I'm saying? Like there has to be something that this kind of as we move on and I mean what if let's take it this way? What if I was part of the R&D where just to get the crossfader to be smooth or loose. You know what I'm saying? That was a hard thing. And now that's not even an issue anymore. Like now you can tense it up, or you can make it stiffer, or you can make it looser. You know what I mean? Like
you can open it up, you can change the spring on the actual. It's insane what you can
bumpers.
do.
I mean, like my man Drew, like yo, dude, like it's crazy. Like, but I think to all the cats who to all the OGs who feel like you don't need any of that stuff. I mean, that's cool, right on. But you're missing a lot. I think there's a lot that there's a lot that's in these mixers now that makes things so that expands your creativity and the possibilities, and I mean, just having the pads is big. I've been waiting for big pads for a while. You know what I'm saying? And when the S9 first came out, to be able to have MPC feeling pads, that already was a game changer. You know what I mean? So now that we have this, it's just like it's just gonna get better and better. And I think especially now that there's so many DJs streaming, and I mean, you're gonna get so much feedback about why it can't do this or can't do that, and I'm just happy to see the progression. And I mean, like I said, I came from, I was doing I was doing NAMM since '93. I was one of the first DJs, and to see and all the other, it was me and Vestax, the company I was working for, and Vestax were the only booths that were there. And
now look at it.
And now look at it, and that was the time where they would like I would be right across from like a guitar company, and they would trip out. What the hell are you guys doing? You know what I mean? But now it's like there's just a whole section of just for DJs things at NAMM, and it's amazing.
There's a whole section and Pioneer.
yeah. Pioneer's like that big.
People don't know if you don't go to NAMM, Pioneer. First off, NAMM in Anaheim, it's a huge place. There's 3 different buildings, so there's vendors everywhere. But as you go into the main hall, you have your normals, your Fenders, your Roland keyboards, and all that stuff's always in the front. Then you travel like 2 lanes over, and that's where you run into the DJ stuff. And then you always have like Reloop and all these, and then you have, but Pioneer is like, it's like a mansion with next to like a whole bunch of like mobile trailer parks. And it's humongous. They always have the biggest presence, and but it's how where you are. You can kind of look up and go, oh, there's Pioneer. That's where all the DJ stuff is. But NAMM is fantastic. I'm really sad that NAMM's not going to be here come January, because I love NAMM. Love. If anybody can go to NAMM and experience NAMM, I would say if you can do it once, because I don't think you need to do it every year. I think once you've done it, you can go every day.
and go every day for sure. Like it's just a big.
I'm always a 2-dayer. I usually go like Thursday and Friday, because it starts up on Thursday. So I go Thursday, I go Friday, and then I usually go home, because typically speaking, in the past, I've had events on Saturday. But everybody knows like all the good events typically happen, Saturday nights, or Saturdays. That's when all the main people go. I've yet to experience that. Maybe one year. I was hoping to experience that this year. Not going to happen.
Man, crazy.
Yeah, I know. Somebody asked, where did they put that? Oh, T with the DJ asked, so do you prefer the Q fader or Q buttons? So obviously the S11 has fader, the 72 right here button. So you prefer, I actually prefer fader too. I don't know what it is. Everything else is fader.
I honestly can't stand buttons for queuing. It just doesn't feel right to me. That's just my preference.
It's like another step. It feels like a designated step. Yes. I agree.
I like the control work. You know, I mean, like if you watch, especially the way the Beatjunkies DJ, like we all use the Q crossfader, you know, right before we're about to throw it in, just because we want to know what's going on. But to be able to have to, who uses it well is Coco from Japan. He uses a 900, and he really presses like every time. But I just can't do that. I need a crossfader.
Yeah, I agree. And it's funny because there was a little glitch when I moved to the S11 and the Rain 72 didn't work properly. The Q buttons were the first thing that had a problem. And because it's, you know, it's all programming, but it was a little glitch in the system. So the Q buttons wouldn't light up for me. And that was the most frustrating part because like I didn't know where I was, even though, yeah, it's there, but you hit the button thinking you're there and it doesn't work. The slider just works better. And I don't think a lot of people complain that they say, oh, it gets in the way. You're a scratch battle DJ. Does it get in the way for you?
Absolutely not.
Okay. All right.
No way.
So I think that answers everybody.
I mean, that's
like
at least
the biggest
for
thing.
me, and for me visually, I know what I'm listening to. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes,
I know.
Right.
So.
Yeah. I think everybody has their way of kind of knowing what side they're on. Like when I'm loading up a track, sometimes I always keep my hand on the fader, like over to the right. Okay, now I'm loading to the left. So I know which side I'm loading to, because you can make mistakes. And that's the same thing with the headphone fader. You know which side you're listening to because you can visually see it really quickly. Right. And you can make nuances. And maybe if you want to adjust it a little bit to have a little bit of it bleed in, and there's just a little more control over being able to hear it. So yeah, but so I think we were talking about the battle mixers and the mic. And because I think that's one of the things, I think people kind of need to understand that battle mixers and DJ mixers, like regular DJs, they're merging. And I don't think you can create just a pure battle mixer and then make excuses why their headphone jack is a certain way or why this is this way. Oh, it's a battle mixer. How many people, the S9 was a battle mixer. But if you look at any club, if you look at any, mobile DJ that has a mixer, they're using an S9. So it clearly migrated past just being a battle mixer. And I think we have to start looking at things like it's all converging. What are your thoughts?
I mean, it is, because, now that, especially with the battles, it's not just like either you're a scratch DJ or a mixing DJ now. You know what I mean? Now there's mixing scratch battles now, like the Reds, like the 3-style. You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
Which is I've been wanting for the longest time because you know what I mean. Like I said, for me, there was a point in my career where it was hard for me to get booked out because people just thought I was in scratch. But now that we have, now that we have mixers like the S9, S11, which incorporates everything that even if you're like a house DJ, I mean, I do house sets and I do house sets off the S11, but I still have the things I need to do house sets like a filter and all that. You know what I'm saying? It just makes sense, and it's applicable to anything that you do, especially if you're not a house DJ. If you do breaks or if you just do hip hop, you know what I'm saying? So, I'm just glad that everything is kind of meshed in now, where it's not like just you're just this or you're just that. You know what I mean?
Right. Yep. And I think that's what quarantine has created. It's allowed people to kind of be outside of their box. And I know you're a different story because I was at DJ City with who was I with? A-Track. And A-Track was doing a show on the Mickey D show. And as he was talking after his performance, he said, I went in and took DMC and won DMC, and I didn't even know how to DJ. I could scratch, I could do that, but like people started booking me for clubs because I was a DMC champion. And he's like, I had no idea how to actually like blend. I had never done that. All I had ever done was scratch DJ. So he said I had to learn how to do that. And he's like, that was hard for me. And I think we are seeing this, you have to be able to do it all. You really do. If you want to have a career that extends past just, I won DMC or, I'm the Red Bull, like you have to be able to do it all.
Totally. One of the crews I'm in, Triple Threat DJs, that was our big thing. That was our big mission at the time because we formed, myself, Ben Rock and DJ Apollo, we formed when turntablism was at its peak. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But we were those guys who were like, I mean, Vinrock just came off 2 world championships, and we were doing clubs, and there would be like 30 guys in the front with cameras just trying to film us do tricks and stuff. But there was like
Right.
another 300 people, 400 people just wanted to dance. You know what I mean? So, just to fight that, just to be, to satisfy both crowds was a thing to do back. You know what I mean? But it's so dope now that we have something like the 3 style. It just feels like now we feel vindicated because like cool, like you know what I mean? Like eventually people got to see that they're that everything can be combined, and you know what I mean? And now that's what like you know what I mean? Like it's just such a it's a trip to see that now.
It's funny because going back to NAMM, how many times did you go to not the BPM Supreme show that's always at the House of Blues, but you go into some of these invite only, or hey, we're having a party afterwards, and it's like you walk in and obviously there's hundreds of DJs, right? And then they have their top DJ list of performers, and you get in there and they're scratching the whole time. Nobody's DJing. You're in a club and everybody's just scratching. And I can't tell you how many times I've walked in being like, look guys, like I know you can scratch, but we're at a club, like place.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, that's it's tough. I mean, I think it's dope that there, what's dope about NAMM is this. It's dope that there's events like that where especially like the scratcher events, those guys, and and the Battle Ab and the Cut for Cut guys who do certain things just catered strictly to the scratch DJs. But I mean, really, like as far as I don't know, man. I really lean towards being well rounded, and I learned that a lot from being part of the Beatjunkies. You know what I mean? Because like we're all battle DJs originally. You know what I'm saying? But
right.
But to be able to, like I said, the setting depends on the setting. You know what I mean? I think I mean, for me, I love a scratch cipher all day. I love being part of those those scratch ciphers where everyone's just kind of going around and
Oh yeah, of course. There's definitely a place for it in a time.
No, yeah, for sure. But I think too also there's other times where I guess where if you're trying to get the masses to come out on then if you have certain DJs who it's I guess it's not really a time and place, but it's like I guess it's I don't know. I it's kind of hard, right? Like if you go to one of these things, you don't know what you're going to expect, whether it's going to be a scratch cipher or going to be a bunch of DJs selecting. But I get it. Like a lot of the hardcore scratch cats just want to hear cutting all day, and that's dope too. That's fine.
No, it's definitely dope. Like when I see those and what to expect, then it's like okay, cool. But when it's like okay, it's a cool club, open bar, blah blah blah, and you get in there and it's just scratching the whole time, I'm just like, I think we're forgetting what we're doing here because we're not because it gets out of scratch battle. At a scratch cipher, you're like watching. You're standing in front of the tables watching. But at a nightclub, go to the bar, you're hanging out with your boys, you're looking at girls, like all these little things that girls like music. Yeah. That's why when I went to BPM Supreme show, because I missed the first year because it was a nightmare trying to get in it. But all the DJs were in there, and there were some DJs that were more about themselves. But it was packed. It was a packed house. The ones that killed were the ones that were technically great, but also musically great, and we're able to kind of put them together. Like, I mean, Angelo was.
Uh-oh. Did I just lose him?
I'm here. I can see myself. Hold on.
You're kind of frozen on my end.
Okay, but I'm cutting out.
Yes.
Damn.
You're a fool, dude.
I can't win today. I cannot win today. I think I'm gonna have to upgrade my internet. God damn it.
No,
okay, now I'm better.
I tell everybody the squirrel story.
I swear, I think I'm gonna have to upgrade my internet. I did not want to spend this money. Damn it.
Yo, Matt. Yeah. Okay.
But what was I saying? So yeah, but in general, I think. Oh, so yeah, so Scratch Bastard's set at BPM was one of the best I've ever seen. One of the best I've ever seen.
I saw
And
that. That was
not
dope.
only was he playing, not only was he playing fantastic music, but then he would get up and do his thing, and you're just like, okay, this is what we want. Now you're appeasing the Scratch DJs, and you're giving the girls something to keep on dancing to, which then they go to the bar, everybody drinks, everybody's happy, everybody
Right.
wins. So yeah, Shortkut, you need a squirrel emote. That's what they're saying.
Damn squirrels. Word.
Now, are you in all honesty, I'll probably reset my PMU and all that stuff, and I might go back to normal. It could be as simple as that. Sometimes things just get stupid. I'm working on getting a PC to start comparing some stuff right now, and I think the guy finally just got back to me. He's going to send me one of his, one of the new like super duper ones. But having said that, let's see. I want to make sure if anybody I've kept you on for a while. So if anybody has any questions, throw them in the chat right now. And also let people know when you're on, by the way. What's your schedule?
Oh, I'm on from Wednesday to Sunday at 8 p.m. West Coast time. And I do a different theme every night. So come check us out.
Wednesday through Sunday. Okay, you're on a lot. I didn't even realize that.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
And you do pop-ups too.
Once in a while. I actually do scratch pop-ups with my girl DJ Lock, and we go on
Gotcha.
whenever we feel like it. So
okay, gotcha.
So anybody who follows me, if you see Shock Sessions, and if you see that, that's us going on, just cutting it.
I see. That's funny. We asked him all the questions when you were gone. Okay, fair enough. By the way, I've seen a lot of Dilla themed streams. And yours was one of the best.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate
Loved
it.
every minute. Yeah, not a problem.
Man. Yeah, man. Just I mean, that's one of my favorites, if anything, So
yeah, he really is. He really was, I should say. Yeah, rest in peace. Soul Scratch asks, did you guys talk about the new Ortophones, the new Ortophone vinyl carts? I have not used them yet. Have you?
Yeah, I have them on here right now. And I'm going to put them to the test tonight for the for my stream tonight.
Oh, for the vinyl. Sure. There you go. Okay.
For the 45 sets.
So make sure you guys are following Shortkut so you can kind of hear them in action, hear them and see them. So definitely want to follow them there. Okay, so let's see if there's any more questions.
Yeah, any more questions, y'all?
And I thought I read Boom Bap. Did you guys say you were going to still do the Scratch show on Friday? Is it going to be on Twitch only? Or are you going to try to do something in person? Let me know. Again, Boom Bap Kids on next Wednesday, barring any issues. They'll be on next Wednesday, same time. Tomorrow we have Gene Hove in the house. He'll be on tomorrow talking tech. Fix It Gene. So we'll have him on. That's in the morning. Fix It Gene in the morning. That's 9:30 in the morning for anybody that's interested on tomorrow. Okay, so DJ Inglewood says, as the years go on, has it gotten any harder to stay sharp with age?
I don't know. I've never tripped off it like that, to be honest. I just feel like musically, I'd say that the hardest part is to keep up with all the new stuff because there's so much new stuff out. That's definitely the big harder thing as far as staying sharp. But as far as my cuts, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not really I'm not like a super flare scratcher or technical scratcher like that. I'm still a disciple of Jeff, Cash Money, Aladdin, Joe Cooley. Those guys, Miz, more of the funk transformer guys. I mean, I kind of lean towards them as far as my inspiration for scratching, because the way they scratch, you could tell, there's for all the new scratchers, there's a way to do certain scratches. If you want to do a flare, there's a technique for it. This is how you do it. But transform, there's a technique, but Jeff, Cash Money, Aladdin, Miz, and Joe Cooley, they all transform differently. If you heard them, you could tell how they scratch. You know what I mean? Their transforms just came out really rhythmic and funky, and that's why I was kind of
I think you nailed it right there.
so,
Rhythmic, because a lot of DJs now, they're doing the scratches, and yes, they're correct in the way they're doing them, but there's no rhythm to them. They're not scratching along with the music. It's like a guitar soloist that doesn't play with the music. You have, when you're scratching, you're a soloist, and you have to play it, and it should accent the music, not override the music.
Me and Locke were having a discussion about this. It's like having a trumpet player going for hella long. You know what I mean? But like,
right.
But if you listen to certain piano players or whatever, or you just like boom, like silence. Silence is super golden, right? Pauses in your scratches, all that. It just kind of, that's what I look for as far as like for certain scratches. And like I said, if you watch, especially one of my favorite scratchers of all time is Aladdin, because he's one of the funkiest scratches I've ever heard in my life to this day. You know what I mean? Like, just if you watch any of his old ballads, just to you'll be like that kind of steez. Like I lean towards that.
Yeah, I agree. I'm the same way. And I hear some of these guys, and I'm just like, yeah, that's dope, but it just doesn't sound as good as some of the older guys.
Yeah, I can't really get with the. I mean, I try to get the technical scratches. I'll do it every once in a while, but just I don't. That's not really my focus. If I'm playing a beat, I'll scratch to that beat, not just. You know what I mean? Kind of groove with it.
And it's funny because one of the things they always try to tell you to kind of enhance is they're like, scratch with the bars, with the rap. Try to get that cadence down, because that's the flow that is on the song. So don't try to counteract it, because it's not going to sound right. And I've kind of been the same way, where I've, like, recently when I've started practicing again, and I automatically tried to go faster. I'm like, no. I need to play within the song. But then you start to think, I'm like, are people going to be like, oh, that's just basic? Or are they going to think, well, that's just a clean ass scratch? And, because sometimes when you do something that's more basic, but it's clean, in my brain, and I know it's stupid, you go, oh, they think that you don't know how to do more. So this is kind of the limit of your expertise. But really, you're just staying within the song. I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
To me, it's apples and oranges. You know what I mean? Like there's folks out there who love really technical scratchers and who could really do like this rapid fire stuff like that, and that's cool too. You know what I mean? Like I'm with it. But if you're asking what my preference is, I just I still believe less is more. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
I'd rather listen to case in point, Jeff. You see him on the streams, and when he cuts it up just right, funky as hell, just to accentuate. Like it's not about. He's not doing this. He'll do. He's not going to do a full 16 bar solo, but just enough to kind of give it that little flavor and spice before he throws in the next record. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And, no, I agree. I he's one of my favorite guys to watch.
Yeah,
because it's like he's good. He knows he's good, but it's not about him. It's about the music and the experience. And that's definitely why I appreciate him.
But then again, there's a DJ battle where you're kind of more emphasizing on skill and all that stuff, and that's good. That's cool too. I think there is definitely a place and time for everything. But for me, one thing I think is missing from the new generation of battle DJs, and I'm not to shit on any of them. I think everyone's dope. I think that's what it is. Everyone's just so dope now.
Yeah,
I think we're missing the funk. I mean, just that kind of that kind of groove on. I mean, that swing style. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And yep. I know exactly what you're saying.
I'm missing
the
that.
Triple, the triple,
the triple, or the boom bap part of it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Agreed.
So that's just my thing. You know what I mean? Like I said,
Gotcha.
I'm not trying to. I have no disrespect to any of the new DJs. They're all dope. I think they're all sick. But and also, honestly, it's probably not their fault either. They weren't born, or they weren't old enough to grow up in the era that maybe me and yourself grew up in, where that where it was about the head nod and the boom bap and the stinky funk kind of
Yeah,
feel. You know what I mean?
very true. Very, very true.
But that's what I'm saying. Like with my streams, you watch my streams and you watch Jeff and you watch certain DJs. Like I'm still in it because I like that's what gravitated me towards all that is that funk. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So.
Tiva the Diva asked, did Shortkut have a hand with the Reloop Elite Mixer? Because he was one of the only DJs outside of Reloop, like Angelo and JFB, having one.
I don't even have one. I didn't have one. I don't have a. I would love to get one of those reloops. It's pretty sick, but yeah, I wasn't involved with that at all, to be honest.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah.
And for anybody that, well, I was gonna say, for anybody that asks, the Reloop Elite Mixer is a really good mixer. Is it missing things that some of the other ones have and maybe do better? Yes. Does it have some quirkiness to it? Yes, but it's still a good mixer. And if that's the mixer you have, you know, you look at DJ Angelo, you look at all of them, they're still killing it on there.
Yeah, it looks fresh. I know Q has one, and I've been on his, and it's I tried it. It's dope. It's pretty sick.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
I've
and the fader is that Innofader is really impressive. You know, a lot of people sleep on Innofader. They make some damn good faders, at least in my opinion. So now you've used Rain, you've used the Mac 4s. What is your fader of preference? Is it the Pioneer style?
Now, yes, definitely. Definitely the Magville. When the Magville first came out, the thing that changed it for me was to be able to to adjust the tenseness of the fader. That just sold it for me. You know what I mean? And just not having any static or no bleeding. Of course, that's a big one. But
yes.
but to have those bumpers that are in here, the ones that you can install yourself. That either you want that soft feel or that. Like I said, I have the plastic ones in here, and I got that click back.
You swapped them out. Okay.
Yeah, I swapped them out because I when I do crabs especially, I like knowing that I'm hitting it. You know what I mean? I like that feel. So.
Yeah. The baseline ones, the ones that come default, they're definitely quieter, and they actually reminded me a little bit more of like the Mac 4. Not the Mac 3, but the Mac 4 with the silence of it. Because I'm like, oh, these feel similar. But yeah, if you put on those harder stops, you're definitely going to get that old school Pioneer thing, which I never loved. I never loved the snapback of the older. Yeah, that was never my thing. And it was super loud. Like, it's like it's all you hear.
Like I said, I'm still used to I was part of the research and development for the Vestax faders, and they were always giving us faders of if it was soft or that had that metal click. I love that metal click. You know what I mean? That's I like feeling that, especially when I scratch. So, especially because I do a lot of transforms, so I like feeling that. You know what I mean?
Right. G-Rock asks, have you used the tables? I have not used what are they? The RMX.
The one with the Q on the front
with the Qs on them. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I've never tried that yet. It looks dope. I've never tried it, to be honest.
Yeah. I think it's as I've been doing the whole YouTube thing and pulling in gear from everyone, and I'm fortunate because I get to see all the gear. And I'm sure, they send you gear too because you're Shortkut. It feels like if I were Rain on the 12s, I probably would have added in on the MK2s. I would have added in the button style like they did on the Reloop, because I do prefer the buttons over this kind of weird flat thing that they got going on. I don't use the Q pads on the 12s. They're worthless to me. So if they had gone that way, I think we need a little bit of a hybrid. I think everybody's doing stuff great with quirks. I think the S11 is probably the closest thing to I don't want to say perfection, but it's the closest thing to a perfect mixer that is out right now. And of all the mixers that have come for the past 3 to 5 years, the S11 really nailed all the aspects of the things that I need as a DJ. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely. It looks solid. It's like I said, I got to learn a little bit more about it just because I'm just the whole touch touchpad. You know what I mean? Like that's
Yes.
already such a different thing, right there.
Mhm.
But big on my man Drew. He's been definitely working with me as far as trying to learn the ins and outs of this mixer. And I know there's so much stuff that I haven't even explored yet with this. You know what I'm saying? I'm still a little more old school as far as like just the bare minimum as far as using the filters and turning off the 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 effects
The
switch and everything like that. But the internal parts of it where you can you could add the two other three turntable 3 and 4 like I don't even know about. I'm still trying to figure that out. But
the
like
remix banks.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much to do. There's so much to do on this mixer, and I think I just got to figure it out a little more.
But I think you nailed it. What you just said. You said, I'm an old school DJ, and I use the S11, and I can still do the things that I normally do, and not have to worry about getting into the details of the screen yet, because the S9 and the S11 just they evolved correctly. I keep saying this, and I will say this until I'm blue in the face. I think the Rain 70 is an excellent mixer. Okay, as far as everything that it does, the basics of it, the simplicity of it, it's a great mixer. I got the 72, and I was like, this doesn't feel right. It's a little off. Everything just feels like it's in the wrong spots, and I'm having trouble seeing things. I think if you were buying a Rain 70 and you were looking at the 72, it should be an upgrade. You should be going, I love what the Rain 70 has to offer me. So now I'm going to move up to the 72 because it offers me even more. But I can still do the same things that I did on the Rain 70 on the 72. That's not the case. Everything is different. So when you go to the S9 and then you go, hey, I think I want to use the S11, you can still DJ with the S11. They didn't change things so dramatically that you can't navigate, the system. And that's what I really respect out of that.
Yeah, it's that next step, right? That next evolution of whatever you're using before. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think it's with the move from the 9 to the 11 is definitely a big step because I mean, just the screen alone is just one thing, but the internal things that you could do within the mixer itself. Oh my goodness! I mean, like I said, I just need a little more time on it to figure it all out. So
yeah, how long have you had it for?
I'd say 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Yeah.
See, yeah, I guess it's a little different for you because you're also DJing, so you have to make sure you got your show right. Like for me, when I first got it, the only thing I did was like break it down, like all the way down to the basics. So I was able to get a little better at it. But Drew's Great. Drew will take care of you. Okay, so a couple more questions, then we're gonna get off because we've had you on for too long, and I appreciate you hanging out. Yeah. Oh, somebody asked about the scratch bank. The scratch bank on the Rain 70 and the 72 is exactly what you'd expect. It works perfectly. As a matter of fact, the way they have it in there it's almost like a triple click, but it's not like you don't have to do a fast triple click like you have to do on the S11. It's just going through basically your pages, your panels. But it works perfectly. So if you have a Rain 70 or 72, you're going to love the scratch bank. Scratch bank is probably one of my favorite things that has come out this year. Because there's so many opportunities to use it. There's so many things you can use Scratch Bank for. It's so much that I don't even use a sampler. Have you really worked on the Scratch Bank yet?
Not to the fullest. Not to the fullest that I bet I'm using it at, but just there's so much more I'm sure I can do with it.
Yeah. Once you get really comfortable with it, it's almost like you almost don't want to live without it because it's just so easy to get to things. Yeah. I was working on a couple of things yesterday and I was messing around. I'm like, oh, hey, this scratch works perfectly. And I have this looped beat here. It'd be great if I could put it in my scratch bank, run the loop beat, do my scratches, and then go right to the next song from within Scratch Bank. Like you could literally program your entire mix within Scratch Bank. Because there's because there's like five different pages. So that's a lot. There's so many opportunities there. I'm a little I didn't think that the Scratch Bank was supposed to hit the Rain mixers yet. I thought it was a little more exclusive, but I'm not gonna complain.
Word up.
Jay Joan asks, what is better for scratching, tight or loose tension? and that's a preference thing.
That is definitely a preference thing. I have it in between. I don't like it too stiff, where I can't even move the fader as in a flow, but I don't want a runaway fader too if it's just super loose. Terry's gone.
No,
Hey,
I'm
what's
here.
up, y'all?
I'm here.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
The sun was starting to shine on me, so I wanted to change that out.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, I also don't want runaway fader. You know what I'm saying? I just kind of need that in between kind of.
Yeah, I think most people start loose, and then they slowly start increasing the tension. Because I started out super loose because it was easier, especially if you're trying to do, things like crabs or even transforms, just having a really loose fader. But then once you get better and your hands get stronger, the looseness starts to throw the fader all over the place, and then you want to tighten it up a little more. So I think it kind of comes with experience and skills.
Right.
Okay, hold on. How is mixing without a screen as opposed to having one? I think it's the same. I don't really look at the screen unless I'm looking at effects or.
I don't look at the screen either.
Yeah. I mean, I know a lot of people are screen watchers, especially the newer DJs. That's how they learned. So, they do have Serato face where they're just constantly staring at it. But I but I learned on vinyl. So you had to use your ear. That was all you had. So yeah, I don't really use the waveforms.
Yeah, well, when I teach mixing, I definitely put the screen black. You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay.
You have to. That ear is everything when you DJ, right? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the only reason why I look at the screen is because of cue points. That's it. Because sometimes you'll name something a certain way, and you're like, oh, where is it at? Okay, it's the green button. Fine.
Yeah, pretty much.
But
I still try to treat the laptop as a record crate next to me. You know what I'm saying? Where I'm not. I don't have to, once I set the song, I don't even want to look at it anymore.
Yeah, that's smart. That's smart. Tiva says looping on the Rain 72 is garbage. Yeah, it needs to be worked on. That's very, very true. I was using it last night and I had loop set up and it never wants to do what I expect it to do. So yeah, but the new update has made it a little better. Okay, let's see. Any more questions here? Let's see. Leave the blast shield down. Let's see, G-Rock. I will attempt to do an activity. Okay.
I missed a bunch of questions earlier. So, like when you were off, it was just going hella fast. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, they're like, oh, Terry's gone. Quick, ask all the questions because now they'll get answered. All right. No, I think I think Shortkut. Okay, so Nina is hooking you up with the when you are on. So make sure. Yeah, gotcha. Wednesday through Sunday, 8 p.m. except tonight's special. And that's that's on at 6:30.
Yeah, we're on at 6:30 tonight. It's Diamonds in the ATL, so it's they don't want to go on too late.
Yeah, you don't want them on too late. Right. Okay. Yeah. All right. So, I have a question for you. So, what is your favorite gear of 2020? It doesn't have to be a turntable or a mixer. Just in general, what's been your favorite gear?
Well, besides just stuff, obviously the S11, but just my favorite gear is my new tower.
Your computer tower?
Yeah, my new tower to stream. I was just like, I just been, coming into the 8th month of streaming, I was having real problems of just kind of just having, either dropouts or just having it not catch up or whatever. But I got the same people who made Z Trips and Jeff's tower made mine. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So the EVGA people, big up my brother Arabian Prince, who put it together. But
he is all over the place. I just keep hearing his name left and right. I mean, because if anybody doesn't know, Arabian Prince, even though he's a dope DJ, he's like a engineer and he builds computers. And so a lot of these super large DJs out there are using computers that he built for them. So I think even I was watching, who was I watching yesterday? Oh God, I'm drawing a blank right now. DJ Spider. and he
word.
did his entire backdrop and everything for him. So yeah, that's.
Sick.
I mean, I don't know what he costs. I don't know what it is, but he definitely does good work.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
So now we're just at the like I said earlier, we're at the mercy of the internet gods as far as trying to be on and have a clean stream, right?
Yeah, one day it'll all just kind of work and it'll just be fine. But up until that day, I mean, look, how many times have you as a DJ had to be the tech guy for your own show? I mean,
every
DJs
day.
are learning. Yeah, we're learning so much about this entire production world that I don't know about you. I can't watch TV anymore. I'll watch a news report
watch-
and they'll bring somebody on and you're like, what's up with the quality? Why you
Yeah.
couldn't put a camera? Why are you using your MacBook camera? Like there's all these little things and I'm just like,
Yeah,
I can't
all the
watch it
stuff that
anymore.
all the stuff that you didn't notice as as a viewer now
Exactly.
as a streamer, now you're paying attention to all these little details and stuff, and yeah, it makes a difference. You know what I mean? Like totally.
Yeah, agreed. So all right. So maybe let's see who's on. Let's see if there's anybody worth rating today. Let's see. We got Real DJ Yoshi. We got Mojax, AK-47, Nestor Cruz. The Baker Boys are on? I didn't even know the Baker Boys were on Twitch.
Yeah, the bigger boys are on. My brother Macio's on too. Oh, Scratch Bats is on too. Yo, shout out to the room.
You chat. I'm gonna look for.
Okay. Yo, big up the room, big up Illust, DLO Show, Mixmaster GNL, Nina, Mighty Rel, Nano 2 High, what's good?
It's weird. Scratch isn't coming up for me. Maybe he went off. You still see him on yours?
Yes, I do. Remark, what's good? My brother Icy Ice, Caramel, what's good? GQ, John P, Special Taylor, G Rock, Tony LeBron, AVB, Ray Swayze, DJ Vibe 78, 4 DJ Fly.
Oh, he's on DJ
He's on
Macio's stream.
Yeah, he's on Maceo. Yeah, he's a guest on Maceo.
Gotcha. Okay, gotcha. All right. Yeah, we hit that one.
Any questions before we go?
Come on, guys. Any question you want? I would put my background music on, but I shut down every known service I had to man just to make sure I wasn't like right now. We've been on since I went down. My charge is at 38%. If this was like a normal day, it would be probably up at like 80% right now. That's how slow it's charging. So okay. So Special Tater says, great chat today. Thank you guys so much. It's like 30 seconds up. Joe Art says best way to practice crab scratches. And the Elo shall ask it again because we missed it.
Why is the loop in so different between Serato and Tractor? Oh man, I'd have to be on Tractor to even tell you that. I'm not even on Tractor, so I couldn't even answer that.
Yeah, we're not going to be able to go back and see the show's question, so just repost it. A good laptop just for streaming. Yeah, I've actually posted this link like multiple times. Let's see if I can.
I want to know that one too, Terry. Let me know.
Yeah, it's about $600. It's
the
one
way.
I think. Yeah, it's actually the one that Gene. I think a lot of the snapback people use it.
Green screen or no green screen? Green screen if you don't. I don't know if you want to enhance your back, whatever if you don't have anything really to show in back of you. I think a green screen is the way to go. But for me, personally, I don't want to use a green screen because I think my records should, I don't know, kind of speak for itself.
And that's the link I just posted. It's an Acer Nitro 5, and in all honesty, I'll pop it up real quick. I think Remark's using that one.
Okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Remark, but I believe he's using it. Let's pull it up real quick, just so I can.
You personally, there's more. Yeah, I got more records in the garage. Hella. So.
All right, so yeah, this is the Nitro, $699. It was actually $599 over Black Friday. It was dirt cheap, but it's simple i5. The most important part of it is this NVIDIA GeForce GTX. That's the thing that's important for OBS, because OBS is 100% all about the graphics card. You get a good graphics card, you don't have to worry about that. The thing about Macs, for anybody that doesn't know, is in OBS there is basically it's like a hyper threading where it takes the graphics card and utilizes all the cores, all the processors in the graphics card instead of using your regular processors. So you can have an i5 because it's not even really using that. It's only using the graphics card. On Macs, that doesn't exist. So even if you have like an NVIDIA card, it doesn't have this basic hyper threading. So it's only using the processors. The graphics card on Macs do not matter whatsoever. It's only using the graphics card, which is why it typically doesn't work as well. That's why. All right, that's my tech for the day. Yeah, and ICIC uses it. Hold on, let's see. The laptop that Mojax reviewed is actually, I'm getting that one. That's I've been working with my guy. Who makes it? Schenker? Something. I think it's Schenker. Telegram. Yeah, he literally just texted me today. Yeah, Schenker Tech. That's the computer. Everybody that has used it, including Drew from Pioneer, raves about it. So I'm actually excited to get to use it. To see what it's like.
ABB asked a question. Cue points, do you color code them based on verse, chorus, or scratch phrases? I don't color code them at all. I just kind of I go.
The default works for me.
Yeah, but what I definitely do is I'll label them. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah.
I'll put the one or chorus, or you know what I mean? Like whatever.
What do you do? What do you do if it comes in early? Because like for me, I know you can say snare in, but sometimes it's not a snare in. Sometimes it's like a vocal in. I will actually put the vocal line in on the cue point, so I know what it is.
Yeah. Or how about a drum roll? How do you name that one?
Right.
And exactly. 3 and 4 and.
All right. So let's see if there's any. Oh, so I see Professor is still in there. XMG DJ. Okay, there we go. Let's see. Shortkut cue points. So you answered that one. Yeah. Here's the thing about cue points for me, and this is the God's honest truth. I think sometimes people spend too much time trying to make the perfect Serato or the perfect record box. I have all my cues set up this way and they're color coded to be this. And I have all of my crates to do this and they're in alphabetical order. It's like, it just takes too much time for me. And if I have to think about it, that means I got to go through all of my stuff, all of my songs, and then recode everything. Like, that's so much work.
One thing I do put in work in is my iTunes still, or whatever you call Apple Music. Just, you know what I mean? I do all my organization in there. And anyone who knows me in the room. Oh yeah, and anyone who knows me in the room.
So you don't use Serato crates?
No. I mean, I use Serato crates for my shows. But
okay, gotcha.
I'll pick and pull from above from my iTunes stuff just to to drag in, just because I do all my organization in there. But just because I deal with so many, with so many genres of music, like even in house, like if you do house, then they got deep house, soul house, tech house, 80s, 90s. You know what I mean? Like it's just so many subfolders within the genre that I feel more confident using it in iTunes than Serato crates.
Yeah, iTunes for me is or Apple Music is a big ass trash can. Yeah, I just throw everything in there, and then I do all my sorting in Serato, which is probably an additional step. But I've always gone back and forth because in reality, it makes more sense if you are using more than one DJ application. So
Right.
if you dabble in Rekordbox or dabble in, Serato or dabble in, Virtual DJ, knowing that your iTunes folder is being looked at the same
Same
by
way. Yeah.
everybody, it means you don't have to worry about, oh God, my crate's not transferring through or having to run different processes. So there's definitely a value in that. The only thing I don't like about the iTunes, and it's not even iTunes' fault, it's Serato's fault, is that if you need to adjust within mid DJing, you can't. It won't update. So let's say you go, okay, this song's in the wrong spot. I want to resort it. If you're trying to do it from
Right.
iTunes, you can't do that. You have to go back on iTunes and then sort it, or I believe it may talk to it, but you have to shut down Serato
First.
and iTunes and bring them back. Yeah. So, but if
Okay.
you're DJing, you can't just make quick changes. That's the only reason why I even went to crates, because if I wanted to do things on the fly, but I guess in reality, you could just make a crate real quick and then fix it later on
Yeah.
when you're sitting at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm curious. Do any of you guys use if whoever does use iTunes in here? Do you guys use the checks? Do you guys uncheck or check a box? Do you ever use that?
No.
Okay, so this is what I do. So let's say you import a song into iTunes, right? And
Right.
for me, just so I avoid duplicates, or I can get rid of
Mhm.
duplicates. Once I
I do use that.
once I drag a song to a folder and then I'll uncheck it. So if it's whatever's unchecked in my iTunes folder, just the music folder itself, I
Right.
put it away. It's already being used. But all the stuff that's not being used, I can either delete. I have to figure out what to do with it. Either delete it or put it somewhere.
It's like a task list.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, that is super smart.
Just because I import so much music every day. You know what I mean? Like on the regular. So that's just my way for me to keep track of what's new, and and the whole date added. I always use that as my first thing. Just when all my new songs I up. So yeah, just some nerd shit right there.
Yeah, it says in Serato, uncheck iTunes and then check it again. Yeah, Disco Jerry, you're probably right, because it's the same thing you have to do if you're using any streaming services, and you need to update the playlist after you've gone through. Like if you're using BeatSource Link and you update a playlist, you have to turn it off, then turn it back on again, and then it sees it. And you're probably right. It's been so long since I've used an iTunes crate. I still have iTunes folders, but it's for stuff that I know never changes. Like my 50s and 60s playlist, my classic crooners, like the Frank Sinatra stuff, that never changes. So it's all there. I just go into that when I need to. But anything new, like new music that's always changing all the time nowadays, I found crates a little easier. But honestly, I always go back in my brain going, I'm using so many platforms. This would be a whole lot easier if I just used it in iTunes. It'd be a whole lot easier for me. And I keep fighting myself on it. So maybe one day.
Word.
Okay. iTunes wiped all my music.
Oh, man.
Let me guess. You were doing the the iTunes match.
Oh,
And
shit.
once it went up, it came down and screwed everything up. I know that was an issue. I actually don't keep. Okay, here's a little trick that you guys, for anybody that uses like Apple Music playlists, like the actual like the Spotify, their version, Apple Music. Here's a little trick, because I know a lot of people do this. So I have everything in Apple Music. My Apple Music playlists are not in my iTunes or in my Apple Music. I can do it from my phone, I can do it from my iPad, but on my DJ iTunes, it's not synced up. Okay, because I was concerned that because it tells you, you want to sync everything, you want to merge it, that everything's going to the cloud and coming back down, and it may come back wrong. But here's the thing that people don't know. You can have more than one iTunes app folder. So if you hold down Option and click on your Apple Music icon, a box is going to pop up that says, choose which database you want to use or create a new one. So you can create a new one, and I have a new one called Apple Playlist or whatever. It's like Apple Music. That way, if I'm just sitting at home and I'm not DJing, I can continue to play my Apple Music on my computer without stressing over it. But when I'm DJing, I just hold the option down. It pops up, pick the database, and I just load my normal one, my normal iTunes database. You know, a lot of people don't know that you can create multiple things. Like if you were really anal about stuff, you could say, here I have one iTunes that's clean music and one iTunes that's dirty music. If you were that anal, but that's not me. But that's an option. You know, you have plenty of options. So, but that's Mac only. Anyway, all right. So let's see.
Oh, there you go. Mixmaster GNL made a big one right there. That's a good one. Definitely keep your music media folder organized. Turn that off for sure.
That's funny. I keep mine on because that way, yeah, because that way when a song downloads, it automatically loads into my iTunes and then it copies it over. Then I just delete my downloads folder because I know people that use their downloads folder as their music folder, and then next thing you know, they're trying to clean stuff out and they delete their downloads folder and all this music is gone. So I would rather have a double up and delete the downloads folder and keep everything because I let iTunes do all my categorizing.
Yeah.
So
when you import a song, you import it. It goes to a downloads folder first, is what you're saying.
Correct.
Yeah, I do that too. Okay, I do that too.
Yeah, but the moment it goes to downloads, typically it'll try to auto play, so it'll just load itself into iTunes.
Oh, that's what I don't do.
It's really, yeah, it's easy. Mixmaster says it works fine in Serato, but it's a disaster in anything else, including Record Box.
Oh wow.
Okay,
that's good to know.
All right, I can see that. Yeah.
Well,
I don't use Record Box as my main one. Everything is synced over, and I haven't done a sync. By the way, Mixmaster, in case you guys didn't know, Mixmaster GNL has a fantastic sync program since we know that Record Buddy has now gone open source. And they're maintaining for the time being, but it doesn't work well with Record Box 6. It works with 5. So if you're looking for a new streaming app, Mixmaster, throw your link in the chat. Throw your link in the chat. Yeah, and so definitely check his stuff out. And we're gonna have him on at some point, and to talk a little bit about it. Okay. Authentic says, long time Mac user. I'm thinking of switching to the Microsoft Surface Book or Surface laptop for DJing. I mean, they're still computers, so as long as they have enough cores, you know, like I wouldn't do anything under a quad core. In all honesty, in anything, because if you're just DJing, yeah, I guess it doesn't matter. But what if you want to do video? You know, what if you need it to happen to stream on that one computer for whatever reason? You know, you're limiting what your abilities are. So just make sure it's quad core, but PCs are running things too. You know, it doesn't have to be just Mac. All right. Any other questions? Mixmaster, you need to check out my iTunes collection too. We'll do all you want and weed out all the duplicates. Hey, see, there you go. Yeah, Mixmaster, we're definitely gonna have to make that happen. Definitely gonna have to make that happen. And I see Drew is still on, ready to talk some trash about Mac. Oh man. Okay. All right. So look, I think we've answered everybody. Did we answer the Elo show? Did we answer him? I know he said we didn't answer his question, but I don't see it. iTunes files purchased on Apple Music won't show up in Serato. That's an easy one. Make sure that your iTunes is linked to show up, and make sure that they are not DRM protected files. There's two different levels of iTunes music. There's iTunes that is open, and then there's iTunes DRM that is closed. And if you didn't buy the more expensive one, then it's not going to show up in Serato. There was at one point a time when you could pay like one master fee and get all of your older DRM ones unlocked. I don't know if that's still going on yet, but that's probably what's going on. They're DRM protected. Okay. All right. Anything else? I think we answered everybody. Is anything more technical we'll talk about tomorrow? You know, we can do that. We can do that all day. All right, guys. Yeah, I've never touched a tractor either. Sorry. I know it's a thing. I'm trying to set it up to where I can get a copy and take a look at it, but never used it. Never used it. Everybody that uses tractor swears by it. Specifically the sound. Everybody says tractor sound output is amazing. So that's what I know. Anyway, all right, guys. Let's head off here. Let's make sure. Okay, I see that he's still on. I don't know how long he's going for on Macio's channel, but hey, whatever. All right, guys. So, guys, throw the wake up emotes in the chat if you found this whole entire thing, which we went long, 3 hours. If you found this thing helpful, if you thought it was a great show, throw them in there. If you have shortcuts emotes, throw those in there. And we're gonna set this rate up. Yeah, we're gonna set this rate up to hit up Macio. So let me open up.
Yo, thank you guys. Pick up the room. Pick up the mafia in here.
Yeah, good stuff, man. Good stuff. I honestly appreciate you for hanging out today. And
no doubt, man. Thanks for having me, Terry.
Yeah, and also being a great co-host when I went down.
Oh, no doubt.
That's
Yo,
that's
my streaming instincts came in. Whenever something goes down, you gotta yeah.
Yeah, right. You gotta do what you gotta do.
I can't be a deer in headlights, so
right. It's like when you're doing like parties or private events and like the power goes out and you're like, okay, BS your way till you can get a chance to get it back on.
You want to hear the best BS? I got a great BS story before we go.
Yeah.
So before I even got to a MacBook Pro, I was using a old school MacBook to stream to DJ. I think I was in Singapore, and my computer just totally like the circles on Serato just froze.
Right.
So I had to yo, everybody make some noise. Right there, power off. No, I still can't hear you. Everybody make some noise. I was trying to stretch everybody make some noise for like a good 2 minutes. And
right.
Shout out to everybody in the room. If you're if you're not from Singapore, if you're from somewhere else, make some noise. We like just on some make some noise. Everybody make some noise of this and that and this.
Right.
And that. Just till I could get it to reboot and reopen Serato. And I was able to talk for a good 4 or 5 minutes.
See? You're a pro.
But that's mind you, I didn't even know how to talk yet. Like I didn't really, you know what I'm saying? But
right.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's
things you have to kind of do.
Yeah, exactly. I was about to say things you got to know how to, those instincts. So
right.
Yeah, but big up the room.
Hey, big up the room. Thank you so much for hanging out today. Honestly, like I said, I appreciate it. One day we'll get you back on because it was definitely a dope show. And let's set this rate up. And I know we're moving through right now, so everybody hang on. We're gonna hit up DJ Macio. Make sure when you hit him up, you throw in the chat. If you're a part of Shortcuts gang, the chat gang, if you're a part of the Wake Up in Cleveland gang, and I still need my own little thing. I don't have a cool little thing for them, so I need to create one. But yeah, so throw those emotes in the chat. Let them know where you're coming from. And guys, we will see you all soon. Have a great day.
6:30 tonight, guys.
6:30 tonight. That's right.
6:30 West Coast time. 45 sessions. Myself, my brother DJ Plattered, and our special guest Diamond D from Digging in the Crates. All 45s tonight for the 45 session.
Y'all.
Right?
You heard it here. Peace out. We'll see you soon. All right.